lineup, but there's just a lot of saves. They can bail each other out.
Yep.
All right, well, looking forward to seeing it. Enjoy.
Thank you very much, Steve. Yes, let's see what goes down here in this series between BetBoom and Tidebound. But yeah, BetBoom, I mean, they have just kind of the two most obnoxious supports, I gotta say. When you're trying to kill someone and there's a Shadow Demon or a Tinker behind them, you're going to have a bad time.
And they have a lot of these heroes that are very good at single target, just killing a certain target, right? Like a Shadow Demon Purge plus a Corrosive Haze. That target's likely just dead. You're not moving. You're going to be amped up in most situations, so...
yeah, I think it's a tough one for Tidebound to play this game. Looking forward to see what they can do, because as we was discussed, it's obviously a very confident last pick Pango in the conditions that there are, right? It doesn't seem to be easy for the Pango, but regardless, there's no hesitation. They're like, let's go with the Pango here for nothing to say. It's one of his best.
I think overall they're looking at like the grand scheme of a game of like big team fights coming in together rather than just lanes and these little things. Because the lane, they pick the Pango into the Slardar. They could, be pretty nice for the Slardar in particular, but they're doing other things that are pretty different. They're going drinking buddies on the Tusk.
Oh, we never see that, right?
We don't see this
pretty much
ever.
Exclusively tag team, because you're picking your facet to win the lane.
But this is the one hero that you want to do drinking buddies with is Gyrocopter, because he provides flak with the bonus damage rather than just being the independent target with the tag team that you're standing on top of. So it looks like they're going for some different approaches, and that can actually allow you to go for saves. You have your snowball save, but you also have a way to yank the Gyro away from some of these catches. So interesting approach. I would say I'd like BetBoom's, but I would say I can see how Tidebound is looking at the overall team fight and grand picture rather than just like this lane, this lane, and this lane.
Yeah, let's have a look. Because you just said the team fight is going to be superior if they can piece it together and if they can get these kills without BetBoom saving one another.
But let's see also how the lanes end up going down too. I do have some worries just because of this. I don't know. Shadow Demon overall, I still feel like this hero's underutilized, underpicked. Yes, he's gotten nerfed, but I think Demonic Purge in a meta of trying to save people is pretty crazy. So I do feel like save can do some pretty insane stuff. You can focus fire most targets because of that. Even a Pango can't get shield crashes or any save. So we'll see how that goes down.
And obviously with that sort of change up, going for the drinking buddies rather than the tag team, what does this mean for the laning stage itself? Like, is it going to be a bit tougher in this lane? Like, Kunkka and Shadow Demon are going to have a pretty easy time now.
Let's say less kill threat, but the thing about the Gyro is still, he shoves the wave out, right? He does the same thing that he always does, where he just flaks out the wave, and that's probably going to be the same thing that we see them do. Just shove out the wave constantly, and then, let's just play off that rather than getting early kills. Definitely an interesting one, though, because this is when Drinking Buddies first got out, that was literally the first thing that came to my mind was Gyro. This was like last year.
That's the hero.
Yeah, it's like the one that pairs beautifully with it because of the flak.
And let's see how this mid goes. See if indeed GPK is able to sort of mess with some of the shield crash.
He should do
crush himself.
I feel like he should have a pretty good edge over Nothing to Say. That being said, though, in the game, grand scheme of the game, Pango can do a lot of things to disrupt the Slardar. Yeah, very interesting kind of approaches coming out here from both sides. As we see bottom, they try to go for pulls, dragging the waves here from save, but it does get stopped there from Y. He does have shards. Save? Ooh.
Not able to get him in the shard trap there. If they do,
very likely to get a kill.
They may have been that first blood.
This lane positioning is weird. I mean, this creep, Torrent won't get the last hit. Wait, did it actually? I think it did. I think the Torrent actually got that last instead of Shiro. Top, Goo. Not going to work there onto Pure. Oh, a very difficult lane to get aggressive onto this Ursa.
Yeah, should be pretty safe up it.
Yeah, the March and the laser can provide a lot of protection. Yeah, lanes definitely look quite strong across the board here from this side. But
maybe they can save this
is the big one, though. With Shiro, can you get the connection?
He can, but backup's coming in from Mira. Torrent onto the two of them. Save's going to get the space to walk off.
I think this is the lane that I would say Tidebound can actually end up winning this one. However, I also think that BetBoom can also win this one too, because Kunkka's very good versus Gyrocopter throughout most stages of the game, if not all stages. Just constant poke and harass. The Rum is very good later stages too. Continue to just watch mid lane. GPK is getting good connections onto Nothing to Say. Just keeps getting that extra bash hit.
Yeah, it's going to get harder and harder, I feel, for the Pango.
Yeah, just those extra few denies definitely will start to add up. As a lot of damage onto Shiro, as we see there. How many tangos do they have left here? They only have Both sides only have one tango left. I mean, Shiro, he's going to continue to eat this harassment from the Tidebringer. Has to be careful.
Maybe trying to find an angle here, White. Nice here with the 10 stick charges on Miro.
It's too difficult to get aggressive. The damage adds up quickly between the two of them here. The Shadow Poison plus Tidebringer can just catch you completely off guard. Bach still farming nicely top, but Pure is getting pretty much free farm on this Ursa with Katomi at his side.
Would you imagine, will Tidebound be doing any of the sort of moves that NAVI Junior were, where they were bringing the gyro in quite early through the twin gates to make plays?
I mean, we could definitely see some early aggressive moves come in. I do like when I see the, I love when I see those gyros. The Doraccio / Skitter Classic that they started when the gates first got added in. I do like when I see that. Definitely a possibility with these two. 21 and 9 in GPK. These denies. That's a big deal.
Now he's just getting a completely free time here in the mid.
Yeah, he's gonna have good half-level separation ahead of the Pango at this point now.
And I guess there just wasn't anything else you think that Nothing to Say might have been considering when it came to getting that last pick against the GPK Slardar mid?
I'm sure it was this discussion of like, do we want to just crush the lane and then be lacking stuff in the mid game, or do we want to just have a thing that does okay in the lane and then helps our draft overall? Because we have no stuns. So I think that was the thing. They had no stun and no way to start fights. So I think that's why. Like I was mentioning to Sheev before, at least for me, that's why I thought the Pango was their pick, rather than just looking for lanes, but see if that ends up even working out.
Yeah, very quiet start here.
Yeah, 0-0, still 5 minutes.
It's just difficult for Tidebound to get kills on the side lanes with, Tinker being top and a Shadow Demon being down bottom.
Shadow Demon plus Kunkka, because even the Admiral's Rum is like a pseudo-save for himself.
It's not easy to kill this duo.
No, that might be why went down the Drinking Buddies rather than Tag Team. He's literally just playing for later on rather than for the laning phase. As we mentioned, it looks like that. I mean, that feels like it's the whole approach for Tidebound, right? It doesn't feel like this was a draft where they're like, okay, we're approaching these lanes like this. No, we're approaching the game overall. 0 points in the Drinking Buddies just yet. Literally 2 points short of Snowball. Nice.
They are getting stuff out of the lanes, right? Their cores are not getting nothing. It's just that they're not putting any pressure really onto BetBoom's cores.
Exactly. And for like a Slardar, being able to just get full free farm first 6 minutes is pretty Slardar, but move comes out, nothing to say.
First rotation, and finally the first blood. There was the one that you're happy to find it on here, getting it as the mid.
Definitely.
Nice.
Even looking to go for Pure.
They'll try to dive forward, but Planet, my goodness, nearly ends up dying, but Pure's actually the one that has to end up TPing away, but
he goes down.
And without TP.
Oh, I don't think he expected that damage, but Bach sticking on him with the goo. Great bait from Planet.
Absolutely. It looked like Planet was making a mistake, but he debated us all, Pure included.
And these are outplays in these side lanes that we see coming in now after that move from Nothing to Say. Huge stuff coming out from Planet and from Bach. GPK will throw him the high five.
No, it was a big hit to Pure there. He was having an easy lane.
He was free farming.
33 free farming, 33 CS so far on the Bear, but now going to miss a fair few waves here. He's got to take the walk back to lane.
Very long time he has to spend running out there. Well, Bach is nearly going to be, what, 5.5, while Pure is still 4 and change, 4.5 himself. It's full level advantage now for the Bristleback. Planet also going to be able to back up during this time. Looks like he's going to get the double stack off also on the Phoenix while grabbing the Shrine. So very good moves from this Phoenix. And it is, of course, Pango, Nothing to Say. Maybe this is the other one. Jenkins was mentioning it toward the end there, besides all the other reasons we talked about the Pango. Going the Diffusal route, right? So versus the triple strength cores or, low mana cores can definitely be pretty effective. So it could have just been multiple different things that he was looking at for here is why. He's in the mid lane.
I'm going for GPK is tough. Maybe if they get M in a position to get the Rolling Thunder. Yeah, indeed. If they have both supports, maybe, but GPK playing it careful.
Yeah, as long as he's not caught like literally in the river.
Yeah,
and
getting constantly bounced.
Yeah, he should be pretty fine unless the third hero's there. Miro, soon to have level 6. Seeing stacks, of course, come out from save, although a lot of them were prevented from the wards that were placed out earlier. from Y. Here's that third hero.
And they're sort of trying to bait GPK in. Backup's coming in for GPK. The disruption from Save.
More backup also, the heals.
There's the crush out on a Planet. Planet will try and dive away, but the laser's there.
Nothing to say.
He might be in trouble as well as he comes out of the Rolling Thunder. He's got a swashbuckle in a second.
He ain't getting away.
Indeed, he's not. GPK able to chase him down the river. Will miss the crush. Shouldn't matter, though. The poison stacks up. I mean, you could see that there. BetBoom were very much ready for that. GPK, this time he was the one sort of doing the baiting, just sort of hanging around. He saw the three of them, that the whole of BetBoom saw the three of Tidebound trying to set up for that.
Oh, and bottom. Look at GPK, very active. Level 6 been hit from Miro, instantly makes a move.
Set up into the boat. Not able to quite close the gap, though.
Does get scared to make that full move. Shiro able to distance himself, the two supports making the move over. Yeah, good bait play, right? Coming out from it, GPK there. That was cool. Double defensive supports, you mentioned it yourself. It's gonna be difficult to bring them down if you don't kill them before those supports do come in.
It's just so hard to make moves. You constantly in the back of your mind have to be considering, is somebody going to TP and save this person? And 9 out of 10 times it's probably going to be yes when you're playing against these two.
Very even start across the board, but I would say that I think Tidebound is probably a little bit happier because I would say that BetBoom, they got like these counter picks in lanes, and Tidebound's actually the ones coming out in 9 minutes in a very comfortable spot across the board with all 3 cores. Some pretty solid stuff, and now we're seeing that rotation. It's a little bit later, about 3 minutes later than we saw, 3 or 4 minutes later than we saw in NAVI Junior, but they're bringing this gyrocopter level 7 top. Pure.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Does see the move coming. Of course, they have that ward that did scout everything.
And Pure's happy to walk into it.
He walks back in.
And he knows he's got backup on the way.
Sure does. GPK's here.
Going to turn towards Miro. Look at the X-Mark setup here. Snowball comes into play. Cooldown comes in on towards Miro. The shield comes out with the defense matrix, but Miro will fall.
The march.
BetBoom, what can they get in return? They're going to look towards Bark. Pure trying to chase for the kill, but nothing to say. Turns up. Bark gets the double.
He's
Bark
alive.
survives. Nothing to say. Comes crashing in with the Rolling Thunder across the 3 of them. BetBoom. What more can they do? They've got the disruption towards the end of the Rolling Thunder. GPK considering getting into position, but he has to still respect the fact that Planet's around. Bark, as low as he is, he's looking to get back involved in on this. Starts to get the goo onto GPK. Bark pushing the limits here on the bristle.
My God, this kiting from Bach, dropping a 10% HP for half the fight. Beautiful kiting in from them again. Look how much damage is in this fight. Craziness.
Yeah, very nicely addressed there from Tidebound.
Beautiful snowball to kind of stall things out there. Allowed him to get the setup from nothing to say. Nothing to say now.
GPK, a few times now, falling a little short on the crushes.
I think that's 3 that I've seen him actually not connect in a way. Beautiful kiting, though. You can definitely see some issues for BetBoom in some of these situations of the upcoming fights if they can't stick on targets. It's a lot of slows. Maybe not the most stuns, but the goo in particular is very annoying for Pure. Especially at this current moment. Those stacks looking. GPK, he's going to go back and finish them, it looks like, for his blink soon. Just kidding. They see action for bottom.
See if they can dive in for this Miro.
Boat's ready.
He's got the setup. Snowball's going to be there to break the initiation. Still, though, for the 4 of them, it's time to crush in on towards Y. They'll find him.
Action-packed. Both teams are going to be looking to play around cooldowns. Just anytime they see a target, I feel like both of them are going to look for these fights non-stop. Miro going the armlet route. So I've seen a lot of different builds actually coming out from these Kunkas. Okay. I think I saw some Atoses in the last series, not in our series, but in the other series. Going down more of a carry route. Probably because he has Slardar as well, too. Wants to be able to scale. It's a very good item on Kunka.
Yeah, armlet does feel nice.
I thought he still was going to do just the Blade Mail because he's playing versus the Gyrocopter, but looks like it's going to be armlet into the Blade Mail, so wanting a little bit more scaling potential. Probably because of his lane going well. GPK, Blink, about to be finished. He's got an amp damage for the next move, too.
I mean, that would be pretty nice to make a play around.
Yeah. Tidebound, they do have everything at the ready, and as we've seen, this snowball, Y in particular can mess with this initiation, at least from the X. But now with that blink on the Slardar, could prove to add some extra folds into the next team fight. Nothing to say, I believe, is that the defusal done? Looks like it is. And I mentioned last game where we didn't see the supports pivoting and adapting with what they're playing versus. I already see Phoenix going for Yules. it's a fantastic.
Yeah, because we didn't have a single Yules.
Not one Yules versus
a Nightfall. They didn't respect him, Fog.
I mean, this one you're playing versus Kunkka, Slaughter.
Sure, multiple. Like
and
Yules.
Tinker. It's a godly Yules game.
No, indeed. Good to see some, the teams buying a Yules against these heroes.
Yeah, it's just good to always adapt, depending on what you're playing against here. And Buck has got his halberd finished up. Very good timings for him. 3-0 on this bristleback. I think we're in for a pretty big treat of a mid game now. Dead even after these lanes. Maybe a slight lead for Tidebound, of course, with the Gyro, or with the Bristle having this type of start.
Now look at the Miro.
Difficulties as Miro.
Can he play his way out of this? Toro up to 2. Boat coming in as well. And of course, he has got the Samler. He's going to get saved for now by the disruption from Save.
They used the wrong Thunder.
He's not toggling his way out of that one. Ends up going down. Nothing to say, seeing if he can maybe set up for something else. Has eyes onto GPK, but in the river with the back of the Tinker. Not someone to mess around. But GPK does jump in. He's lucky to not get caught by the shards there.
Off the mark again with the Crush. Going for the Ruin. Bach is already there. He's actually going to spawn bottom. Good catch there from Tidebound, finding Miro isolated again. Catch. Planet.
He has got the Supernova if he wants. Not going to get the chance to get it off.
Dispels that slow. GPK.
Could look to dive in for this GPK. Does he want to go for an aggressive blink play here up to the tier 2s? No, not yet.
He still had the last trickling moments of the amp damage there, so just a bit of extra damage versus that Phoenix. Don't think he expected it. GPK being super active. All 6 kills because of him so far.
But considering to start the defense here around the mid, that'll work. BetBoom, they don't want to push him whilst the Bristleback's around.
Looks like they'll... Are they shifting toward bottom? Can they actually find Shiro? This would be a fantastic grab if they can. They don't know exactly where he is yet.
Well, Pure.
Pure.
He's got the wand. Plus the Enrage as well.
They're gonna... I mean, they're continuing to try to close the gap. The Phoenix and Tusk TP, but can't quite. And GPK. All early game. Blink into the shard. He actually purchased it himself, too. Very cool. So
yeah,
you don't see this always, but wanting to just be very aggressive in this early game is what that tells me.
So the Soulmans are nice and early.
All the cores thrive, of course, with that shard, too. Does work really well with their lineup.
Yeah, they're just going to continue to run at them, really, BetBoom.
Yeah, that's what it feels like.
There's going to be no slowdown from them. Katomi!
He's fine.
TP in, but indeed these two supports can't do a whole lot about him.
He is very tanky. He's got the Holy Locket. The Bull's coming in.
And maybe with the backup, they can make something happen here. They got the Supernova into the Rolling Thunder. Leatherset gets the angle onto Katomi. Have they got the damage to kill off this Tinker? Katomi surviving throughout it all. Finally, he falls. GPK jumps in with the Crush. The boat comes down onto both Nothing to Say and
Oh
Buck.
my god, these Tidebringers.
I mean, they're getting incredibly low, but can they actually get enough damage to finish them off? GPK is going to try and chase them out to the side. Planet will get taken out by Pure. They should find why GPK with the Crush.
Oh my. Oh, and they're lucky to get out with these 3.
I mean, they were so low.
This Shard, Slardar plus Tidebringer actually just... the 2 Tidebringer hits, look how much he did in the fight, if you want to see that fight recap. He actually did so much. When I saw the first hit, I was like, wait, what? And then he refreshed most of it because he has the high tide, I believe it is.
Crazy.
So he got the second hit. It almost killed everybody.
Yeah. I mean, dude, why you don't get the blade, man? Get yourself a Daedalus. Treat yourself.
I would love to see it.
Just rush crit.
I mean, blade most 2 value.
It is. And he's a sensible man. He's a professional player.
But that's a big deal. The fact that BetBoom can bait like that, and that's versus the majority of the ultimates from the side of Tidebound, it's massive. Katomi tanking, I don't even know, it felt like 10,000 damage or something on this Tinker.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy how much they had to throw down on him.
They had to throw the egg, the rolling thunder. They had to commit literally everything.
And they nearly didn't get him.
Yeah. Oh, he got the last hit with the shards, looks like.
Oh, he did.
Didn't catch that.
Oh, there you go.
Why?
Something about these Tusk players, you know, whether it's Tormentors or Roshans, the shard snipes are real.
Yeah, that was 9 class,
we had one of those, I said the other day, that was probably the other month. Maybe, was that even the other year?
I think it was last month.
It was last month, right. Might even be last Wallachia, I can't remember now.
I think it might have been
I think it was.
Yeah. Or maybe before. It's a lot of Dota going on.
Yeah.
Shiro almost has Ags. So still in a pretty comfortable spot. But is behind the Ursa, of course. And they have a great single target to play versus him. And Kunk overall just I think for so long, I want to say this was secret in 2015, 2016, 2017, where they did this is a long time ago. I'm doing a throwback, but Kunkka versus Gyro has traditionally been very nice. The way that the rum works. I believe it was when Nisha was on the team was when they were doing that. So it was I'm throwing back a long time ago, but I remember this Gyro versus Tidebound. Gyro versus.
GPK. We'll get away this time. I mean, that's true. We've obviously got Nisha back with Liquid here this tournament.
Yep.
And indeed, yeah, talk about his Kunkka. We have, I think Exxon was playing some Kunkka mid earlier, right? I'm looking forward to seeing some maybe Nisha bring back.
I think we're going to see a tournament. I mean, we're going to see a ton.
Do you think it's pretty viable to bring back in the mid? You like it in the mid?
Not as good as the offlane, I think, but it's a flex.
Yep.
It's a flex hero.
Yeah, definitely. We're going to have a rising amount of Kunkka action this tournament.
BetBoom.
It's a popular one.
With this Aegis, they can make a lot happen. Right now, hard for Tidebound to fight into this when they've got this cluster.
I mean, Mira's, he's looking pretty deep here, Mira.
He's got the blade mail for Shiro. Shiro?
Got the X mark set up. Coming in with the backup. They'll try and bring him to safety, but he's gone.
Instant disruption.
Able to kill him off. See if they can go for more here, BetBoom. As GPK dives around to the side, looks towards nothing to say. They turn with the punch, though. Kill off save. GPK, he's getting very low here to the damage output of Bar, because he'll die.
They bring everybody. So fast the TPs come in. Won't be able to bail Shiro out, but they do get 2 kills nonetheless. Nice disruption from Save. Actually prevented the snowball.
It did indeed, yeah. That snowball would have come in clutch otherwise.
Yeah, because he pulled him in with the drinking buddies and almost got the save there, but Save prevented the save with the disruption as they strike back.
Yeah, we'll see it again here.
Mira also did something funny. Look, ready? He starts tagging the Watcher. Look.
He did, yeah.
But yeah, look at this. Pull in, and then the disruption instantly from Save to prevent it. But yeah, it's sticking around too long. The minus armor and just Bach in general, it really, really starts to add up, Owen. When you've got this lucky shot that procs from the Pango on top of this Bristle hitting this hard. It's not just a gyro carry. Definitely the separation, though. Pure up to a Basher now with this A just over 2 more minutes. He's feeling confident. About 2,000 gold difference between him and the gyro. And starting to see these damn Tinkers, Owen. He has surpassed his mid laner in a second here. So another core, of course, forming into the mixed for BetBoom.
Yeah, it's crazy hero.
Yeah, it's broken hero, you mean? It really is.
I mean, the thing as well that it still has that flex as well. It's not like you can only play as support. We're seeing these mid Tinkers obviously still having a great time with him.
I think that's what makes it the most broken for me, is that you first pick it and it's just...
Do you imagine there was sort of a period where, like, obviously with the changes of Tinker back, I mean, whenever it was, what, months or a year or so ago, that the mids were like, oh my goodness, whoa! Talking about the mids, GPK jumped in. See what they can get here.
It's a clustered area.
It is. Then the ult down on towards Y. Pure's going to be able to turn and tear down the Tusk.
Still got Aegis.
Indeed, they don't want to throw too much down onto the Bear, and maybe now Park's in trouble. The crush setup after the disruption allows them to close in, kill off the Bristle. They buy back here on Y, but there's no further fight to be had here from Tidebound with Bark dead.
BetBoom just better at taking these fights head on. Very patient, also not overextending past the targets. They see the Rolling Thunder come in, they just fight in the march. Stay in their march, stay near their Kunkka and Slardar. Now up to a very comfortable lead, 5,000, actually 6,000 after this tower perhaps. And getting these items that are honestly very good with what they're playing against. Armor. Look how tanky this Kunkka now is. 35 armor on him versus a Bristle, Gyro, and Pango lineup in particular. Looking to be more and more comfortable for them. Echo Saber for GPK. He is starting to dwindle a little bit in terms of that net worth, but he's got this Kunkka, this Ursa, and of course this Tinker that's also still scaling behind him, so.
It's getting tougher and tougher for Tidebound.
Yeah. They need to get the connections of their ultis all together, because that last fight's like awkward because they're playing into Aegis. They don't want to dive with the Phoenix and covering it with a roll because they could lose like 4 or 5 heroes, so they have to have it all connect in synergy together and not versus an Aegis. They're feeling pretty confident. Buck. Off the mark.
Same time, BetBoom probably don't feel too much pressure.
I don't think so.
They can hang back, and if it is getting too awkward for them to try and find a way to get the jumps, that Pure can farm out the BKB.
They can just kind of like chill with like 2 heroes, because if anyone does show split, they have great ways of setting up for kills with like 1 or 2 heroes. Quite a bit easier, I would say, than the side of Tidebound. Tidebound, I would say they need to bring multiple heroes to go for these type of setup plays, while BetBoom is, yeah, they can just have like the Ursa go for solo plays, or with just a +1. So easier for BetBoom to threaten kills on the map without actually having to show anything.
Absolutely right, because the setup's just much more limited from Tidebound's heroes.
Sure. I think that's why they wanted this Pango, right? Like we were mentioning, but now we're starting to see the faults of everything else, at least with the way that BetBoom's playing around it. Lead just from 6 to 8K pretty quickly. Lotus Orb finished up from Muro. It's going to be hard to bring down these targets with the saves that they have behind them and these items that they're starting to get. The fact that Pure was able to go like Basher, right, because he had Aegis and he has these defensive supports. Now he can go back for BKB. This BKB timing is going to be quite scary versus Gyro and Pango. He's going to be able to pick his targets in the next fight. Shiro has BKB himself.
It definitely feels like they can't keep the Ursa off him, though.
Yeah.
Still going to have struggles, even with the BKB press.
Might be a smoke v smoke, the clash that kind of happens here, but even though Tidebound have their items connection, you know, the timings that they've gotten, it feels like BetBoom's timings just look that much scarier at the moment. Fuck. Maybe tempting them to go on him. BetBoom reclaiming their high ground area. Ursa BKB is on him.
Don't want to try.
Tidebound's getting the high ground themselves. GPK.
And BetBoom probably quite aware of this. Yeah, they're keeping to the edge here, making sure that they don't get caught out by some sort of high ground play from Tidebound.
They don't want to just walk into the Gyro and the Rolling Thunder. They want to have the initiation themselves. Pure, very deep, aggressive blink forward for the wave. Doesn't look like they'll be able to catch him, though. They have a dive Yules if they want to try, but let's see if that's the case. Pure.
And backup's on its way.
He's got backup. There's the Yules.
So they can try and force out the BKB from him. And he's going to get caught in the Rolling Thunder. He's not going to get the chance to spot the BKB. He's dead. Nothing to say. He's going to get momentarily trapped. But the rest of the team, they can still make this work. The disruption will come out on towards Katomi to try and save him for now. Miro's not going to be able to get out of this as he gets caught by the stun. Double kill for Shiro. Save. He'll be able to TP away.
What a fight approach. I think 100-0 him instantly. Pure, just hesitant with the BKB. GPK.
So they can go from as well. Underneath the tier 1. They'll try and slither his way to safety, but the punch gets him.
What a fight. It's not even really a fight. It's just a domination from Tidebound.
It is. I guess, you know, Pure, he did not respect the fact that they could just kill him off. He very much trusted in the save potential of his supports. I mean, the supports is not on that. They tried to bail him out. But in the spot that he was in, indeed, he disappeared immediately. Didn't even get the chance to press his BKB.
Yeah, it looks like everything just connected on him at the exact same time, so they couldn't actually bail him. Like, look how quick the burst came out. Yeah. All right, that entire lead is gone, Owen.
We'll see it here again.
And that 9,000 leads is...
I think there was a little bit of time when he came out of the Yules wake and maybe an insta BKB.
Oh, yeah, he had time. He was hesitant. I don't think he expected to be burst that fast by any means.
I guess just did not respect the Blink Rolling Thunder follow-up to come in for nothing to say.
That's
it did.
I mean, this is the biggest swing that we've seen so far in
Massive
in this tournament, at least for us. A 9,000 swing off of
one. Boy.
Not even a team fight. Really. It was literally just them getting the connection with the roll. Pure is just dead before anything. A 9,000 or 10,000 gold injection is massive too. Like, which item do they get fully finished up? I believe it's almost a butterfly for Shiro after he just finished up one of his items.
Yeah, that's a rough one to lose there for BetBoom.
Yep. Back smoked up, looking for the battle.
See what they can get.
It's on Shiro.
It's a good catch, but the save comes out with the snowball. This time Pure not messing around with the BKB, pops it here. They've got the demonic purge slow onto Shiro as they'll kill off Shiro through his BKB.
And now an actual approach of a team fight where Pure is able to do something.
Maybe look for more in Miro. Seeing if we can maybe get an X mark onto someone.
Looks like it's a Roche. BetBoom should be able to get that one for free. Don't believe that they want to fight without their gyrocopter, but they actually are setting up. All right, Bach.
GPK.
They're going to try for it. The roll's coming in.
Yeah, nothing to say with the Rolling Thunder. Good damage onto GPK as well. GPK's fallen pretty low. He's got to be careful. Pure will be able to finish up the Roshan, get the Aegis secure on the Ursa. Jumps forward towards Y. Y is able to get the snowball off in time. Nothing to say. Slides up the high ground with the swashbuckle.
It's a good egg.
Over in a good position. It's going to stop BetBoom from being able to chase up to the high ground. BetBoom keep their distance. Now the Supernova's gone off. Maybe BetBoom can get back in.
Pure, he's looking for backline.
Let's get to the jump across. This time he finishes off Y. Bark. Trapped up by the X mark. Pure wants to keep this going. So close in on the bristle, getting those swipes stacked up from Bark. And managed to move away. Enough slow stacking up in return onto Pure to stop the Ursa from chasing.
I'm surprised they actually go for this play, though. They try to contest versus this Aegis area into March. Bit of a crazy play to go for it there. Almost getting some kills, but end up losing that Tusk.
And now with the Aegis on Pure, BetBoom can get back to business, taking these objectives.
They take the Shrine as well, too. GPK is able to sneak himself over there and take it away. Actually, quite a big deal. Quite a big hiccup we saw from the side of BetBoom bottom. But if Pure is able to actually stand in the fights, we see his power. But Shiro he does have this butterfly done. Looks like Pure at the moment isn't queuing up the MKB though. He hasn't purchased, so he might still just go the Abyssal anyway, just for the lockdown pierce through the BKB. He probably feels like they can actually just kill him through the butterfly. Even with the evasion hits, as long as they have him locked down. But we definitely do see how important the ones are in this game in particular, right? If either one of them are dead, it's like either one of the sides are just going to avoid the fight after that main carry is dead, because it's a majority of that damage that comes out. Tidebound has, I think, a bit more of that mixed damage from their Tricore.
Smoke time.
See what they find. Do they find backline?
It's a risky smoke into this Aegis.
It is. Pure is level 20 as well. I think GPK just finished up his Ags as well, and a haste rune. They got a lot of timings on BetBoom here.
Shiro. GPK's found him. Needs him with the jump. The BKB comes off in time. Y drags him to the side with the drinking buddy. They'll get the cooldown off, and nothing saves him with the rolling thunder. Gets the stun off onto the three of them. GPK and Pure falling low. As Katomi goes down, Pure has to go for the BKB TP out.
He just
GPK dies, and the rolling thunder continues to catch Miro again. Miro's going to try for the TP out, but the Yules is there to put a stop to it. Tidebound very much ready there for the fight that BetBoom tried to catch them off guard with.
Holy I mean, why? And every time, just ready. Super quick with this snowball. The drinking buddy's definitely coming into play there, too. They've got the full surround, and they kill 4. That's crazy. These are some very well executed fights coming out from the side of Tidebound.
They are really very much around kind of, again, just rolling thunder. These plays from nothing to say. You're seeing why they don't care. They put the pick it in this last pick mid against a matchup that's not going to be easy. So many times, so many fights. I don't know if any other hero could be doing a better job of what the Pango has been able to do in the hands of nothing to say.
Absolutely. I mean, he's doing so much work in terms of enabling his course to it, the minus armor, right? If you're seeing Bak and Shiro do so much damage because of that besides the control. Really cool fights. Every time it looks like BetBoom, they've got a really good stable thing coming in. Yeah. Multiple items flying in. They literally had 3 core items coming in for that fight, and they get decimated, so very, very cool. Pure, looking for a solo grab, won't be able to get nothing.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
Just a minute left on that Aegis, and as we've seen it, Aegis or not, Tidebound, they'll still look for the fights and they'll take them.
Yeah. I'm surprised that GPK and Miro are not queuing up the BKBs in particular on these two, because it feels like they're getting pressured a lot from just the control that comes out when the Rolling Thunder comes in. Maybe we'll see them go for it after, but yeah, still prioritizing these other items at the moment.
Yeah, because the Rolling Thunder has just been massively disruptive.
Yeah.
And sure, they have saves between the Shadow Demon and the Tinker, but there's only so much saving you can do. And your whole team's getting Rolling Thundered.
You have to be in the back line. If you're in the front line, like you're screwed. As we saw there, it was, I think Katomi, he poured it in on the Slardar, right? So he was literally on top of the Gyrocopter too there, so he didn't really get to cast his spells. A couple of these fights we've definitely seen, I mean, from both sides, right? It's like one of the heroes dies and the fight's already over, so both teams just kind of, one of the teams either bails out or...
And they could go again. I mean, they've just got a full AC done on Bark and a full Satanic done on Shiro.
All right.
Pure. He's going to get found. Uh-oh.
Aegis, 3, 2, 1.
It's
they
gone.
timed it.
They've got to try and bail him out of this. This is going to go for the BKB TP out. They're going to be able to kill him all through it.
What a timing. Tidebound.
They're BetBoom slipping up.
I mean, they're punishing all these mistakes massively. Actually timing that Aegis perfectly. And as you say, yeah, right after the AC gets finished too, so this push is strong. This could just be a Rax.
They've got the AC, they've got the Satanic and Shira, so you can continue to self-sustain.
Let's see.
Sit up on this high ground, looks to do some damage. There's a full minute without the Ursa in action. Now they jump forward, they get the gap closed on towards Katomi. The boat coming down. Y's going to get dragged back into it. GPK's in with the crush, trying to play aggressively to finish up the task, but Y's fine. Dive for from Planet, he's in with the Supernova. GPK's got to run, but he's getting slowed down, burnt down by the Sunray. Supernova stun catches onto him. GPK, he's dead as well. No buyback on him. They'll try and get the X-Mark dragged back onto Y, but Y, he's got nothing to say by his side. He's able to get the blink back off to the low ground. This is going to end up dragging him outside of the base because of the Lotus. Miro's put himself in a terrible position there off the back of his own Lotus play.
And that was his gem too, so gem hits the deck. Tidebound can continue this push. Katomi's still alive for the defense, but they lose so much out of this Owen.
And nothing to say. He's in under the tier 4s, makes the jumps over towards save, save's gone.
Another one. Tidebound.
They're outplaying BetBoom massively here.
They're showing the strength of their 5-man in particular too in multiple different situations.
They could go for a second set of racks.
They absolutely can. 30 seconds, no Slardar. 40, no Shadow Demon. There's 2 sets. Absolutely massive plays.
Yeah, it's really come together for them and really just fallen apart for BetBoom.
These mistakes are massive, right? Like Pure getting caught bottom, not getting the BKB off.
He might get caught again.
Now almost another time.
Yeah, they started to drift in his direction.
And these are, really heads-up moves from Tidebound. So much, that makes lots of credit you can give to Y in particular with his snowball saves. But the entire team, it's of course like single individual plays that are coming out, but it's the team effort. It's the 5 heroes, the synergy that comes in from the draft that they had conceptualized from earlier, so. Very, very cool stuff. Nullifier for Shiro. Don't have to worry as much about those barriers.
Yeah, huge arms just flying out. We nearly got the Octarine coming in around the corner for nothing to say.
And it looks like for BetBoom, I mean, it's nothing big anymore. I mean, they literally lost every fight after their big timings.
They did.
The top one in particular, Haste Rune Slardar with a full upgraded Aghanims. You know, they've got the Abyssal Blade Ursa, and they got decimated in that fight. See if they can put up another, at least one more actual team fight for themselves. Because the last 2 or 3 just, the last 2 in particular have been disastrous. But they're not going those BKBs, so it does make it hard for you to get that extra connection versus the Rolling Thunder. Muriel, he is going for the Hex. And GPK is queuing up the AC.
That's tough. Yeah, I wonder if you sort of rewind this game a bit and kind of get BetBoom to make some different decisions if they would have decided to get BKBs a little earlier.
Maybe. I mean, the bottom, I think that whole bottom situation really messed with their entire timings and their entire game plan that they had going on.
Yeah.
Because they had all these items coming in. They're going to look for a smoke connection. Let's see if they can get on top of this gyro. Let's see if they can prevent the save.
Who's going to get the jump first?
Pure.
They get the jump on a Bark, not the ideal target. Pure's going to try and jump the backlines, but he gets punched up by Rot. Why? Pure bounces back down to the low ground, hit with the Ogre Totem, but nothing saying the river. He's caught GPK. GPK's just caught his charge. He's dead. Pure will be able to jump back up to the high ground here with the BKB and the Enrage, but nothing says closing in on him. They've cleaned up both GPK and safe. They're ready to look for more. Miro tries with the TP out, but why? In with the snowball, puts a stop to his escape. They'll get a 3rd kill, and they'll lose nothing Tidebound.
And these team fights are just too strong. The perfect execution, it seems like, from Tidebound now at this point, especially with this lead. Bach just shows his face and everyone gets free spell casts off.
The team fight's just too strong. BetBoom can't fight into this.
GG.
And they'll tap out. GG is called. Tidebound take game 1 as BetBoom, they crumble, Fogged.
Absolutely.
All right, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Time to get in the action of game 2 here between Team Tidebound and BetBoom. Fogged, what do you make of it this time around? So indeed, that last switch up coming in from them, with Bart getting the Magnus. They're going to put the Sand King in towards the mid. Are they going to do all right with these matchups?
I mean, it's a choice that they want to make, right? Like, it's the Sand King mid, exactly like they said. It's a melee versus a Monkey King, so you're setting yourself up in a pretty dangerous position. It's going to be about that Sentry War, so I mean, it's exactly what Panel's saying, though. Tidebound, they're drafting for game. They're not drafting for lanes. This is literally 5 teamfight heroes. It's not something you see very often when teams do this and just disregard the lanes. Last game, they actually ended up coming out ahead in the lane somehow. Only by a slight margin, but they overall had the better team fight, and they ended up winning the lanes, even though they ended up having a 10k deficit and ended up winning the game afterwards. They're just all about team fight.
Yeah.
This lineup
they've got it right. The wombo combo is pretty real.
I mean, it's probably the biggest team fight lineup I think you'll almost ever see on. And unless you add like a Shaker and Enigma, these are almost the same. The ET amping up a Sanking, a Gyro, a Mag.
You literally have 5 AoE ultimates, right?
Yeah.
Like 5 team fight ultimates from Tidebound, which you don't see a lot in a draft.
Yeah. And looking at Shiro, he went for Afterburner this game. So pivoting away from the secondary strikes, just wanting to have that little bit of extra movement speed too, to be able to distance himself perhaps versus Lifestealer. Versus a triple melee course. So a bit of a switch up.
That's right. It's triple melee cores against massive team fight ultimates.
Exactly.
Like, you're going to hit multiple heroes.
Yeah. We do see there the quad bounty rune, of course, though, for BetBoom. Which usually means the team loses the game, I think most of these players joke about. They're like, oh, we got quad bounty. In a pub, it's an auto-win, and in the official, uh-oh. But nah, it's obviously a good thing to get those 4 bounties. It looks like it should be a pretty solid lane, a pretty free lane again for Pure. And overall, again, yeah, the lanes overall for the side of BetBoom, they look good. Top lane, of course, is the one where Shiro can have an excellent time in, but these other 2 lanes definitely look really solid for BetBoom. Does he have a sentry coming out yet? He does. He has a sentry and a dust.
Okay, so he is ready to make sure that he can push this matchup advantage to the maximum here, GPK.
He wants to get kills. He wants to snowball. As soon as he gets level 3, can definitely look to fight under, so we'll see if he can push. Nothing to say away. It's very interesting. You know, I always like when I see, I think I mentioned this like every single tournament, but when teams just have their own styles, it's just really cool. Because when a meta just starts to become so cookie cutter and everybody's just copying each other, it gets stagnant. So I'd love to see just some variations of not always counter picking and just playing your own stuff. It'd be pretty cool. GPK, I mean, he's got the sentry down, he's got the dust, so this lane, it feels like it's going to be pretty miserable for nothing to say.
I mean, surely it must be terrible. Like
it feels literally miserable.
Yeah.
I feel like now at this point, like, do you go boots and just drag waves, or do you just have to go for your bottle?
That's true. Yeah. Maybe we'll just go behind the tower and grab them.
I don't know, honestly. It's weird. We'll have to see how he adapts for the lane. It's just going to be incredibly difficult. But as we said, Tidebound didn't draft for lanes. Drafted for overall game. But that does mean that there's going to be a gold advantage right off the bat. Besides those 4 bounty runes, BetBoom will have a gold lead in these first 5 minutes. Probably a significant one, too.
I mean, yeah, because it's just going to be like 1,000 gold difference between these mids very early.
Very early.
You'd imagine coming up at this sort of rate when you get that 17 and 9 against the 7 and 1.
And off lane's not much better, right? Like Fear was talking about. They decided to do this switch up, but you end up putting yourself in a kind of similar situation where Mag versus Lifestealer instead of, Sanking versus Lifestealer. So just difficult. Nothing to say. The dust comes out. Won't be able to get a kill, of course, but does just push him away from any creeps.
There's a deny. What do?
You watch.
Is what you
feel very sad.
Denied. There you go one there.
Wait, a courier?
Oh,
wait, Pure!
Yeah.
He got skewered!
Whoa.
No rage, he's level 2 still.
Yeah, that's a very nice little kill for them to find in that bit of a window early on when they could.
I wasn't even looking. Did he get baited for the courier and then got skewered, or did he just get connected from a shockwave skewer play?
I think he must have.
Either way, gets brought down close to the tower, so wasn't careful. Still, of course, farming very nicely, but that's huge for Bach. We saw this lane actually be the difference maker last game too. You know, they were struggling in their lanes, and then the off lane was actually the one that gets big kills for Bach. So pretty cool. Taking advantage of no rage. Pure immediately is going to put that point in it now, so shouldn't happen again. But even getting it once is a big deal.
Katsuomi.
And maybe, okay, so I'm thinking more, so maybe the other thing that they were discussing is that, yes, the thing about the Sanking is he's going to lose the lane, but then he just jungles. Right? You do the stack thing that people would always do, and you just get him to catch back up off of that. Sure, you're giving Monkey King absolutely free farm, but you have a recovery outlet. Because they're like, who else is going to farm the stacks in the early game? It'll be the Sand King.
I mean, we'll see. We'll see how much of a
we'll see if it works.
Problem the free farm Monkey King is going to be because of this.
It does feel like it's going to be a pretty big one, but that being said, too, Monkey King has had a lot of struggles in a lot of these games.
Yeah, you can fall off pretty hard as a Monkey King.
Yeah, because you overplay your hand. You know, you start to feel so good about your game. You're like,
because I imagine, because what are you going for the mid? You going what? Treads, Diffusal, and running around the map.
Yeah, I would imagine so. Yeah, I was looking at what other things he has, but I would imagine so. Yes, this game. Why? The power shot's actually off the mark. Save. He's got another power shot in 2, 1. Will he dodge it? He does.
Gotta be a bit careful themselves here, BetBoom. Save.
The speed is adding up. They distance themselves.
Skill shots being missed left, right, and center here.
It's not the easiest one to land at times.
Impalement arts are all over the place.
Yeah.
Power shots are all over the place.
It's all good. Happens to the best of us. 22 denies. GPK, of course, still decimating. But yeah, Sand King, I believe he has a triple stack on the hard camp and the ancient, and perhaps some more stacks to recover on.
And he didn't feed.
And he did not feed. Very true. And they did get a kill on that safe lane because of the Magnus instead of having a Sand King there. So all these little trade-offs, not too shabby. And they're like, honestly, like even though they have these these losing like looking at the gold split up, it's like 500 difference or so. Not the worst by any means right now. And now Box in a kind of a little bit of a 1v1 versus Pure, which he loves, as this Magnus right now.
Yeah, with this bit of jungling, it's
catching it up.
He's not that poor. Nothing to say. Sure, he's not
that rich.
He's not the level of the Monkey King, but in terms of farm, but still managing to have a bit of an early game here with the farm.
And he's 6, so he has Epi. So if there is a rotation that comes in, he can post kill threats still onto these side lanes with an Epi if there's an overextension. Shiro, the Monkey King is rotating up.
They're going to try and go for him.
Stomp will connect.
It will indeed. So
here's
now with the
nothing to say.
coming in, GPK might be in trouble. He'll turn and get the Boundless off. He'll stand his ground with the Wincons command, but he's dead. And now with the Epicenter, nothing to say, walks down Miro, double kill here for the Sand King.
We've seen this before.
And that hurts so much, right? When you had this great lane as a Monkey King, you go for that first play, you end up dying, and not only just dying, but dying in a situation where it's you and your offlaner dying to the enemy mid.
To the guy that you were dunking on. He's
that's rough.
He's ahead of you in net worth and experience. Yeah, that's huge. And as we said, the Monkey Kings, it's just sometimes these overextensions can come out.
See if they can get bottom.
Bach.
They should be able to have him here. He's skewing in aggressively, moments to go, won't be able to get out.
Nice move.
So gets back in, we'll be able to set up something here for Pure on the safe lane, at least GPK.
But nothing to say is literally, it's like that lane never happened at this point. Level 7, good counter kills.
Top tower is under attack.
Yeah, and as you say, a great stomp there, really, to stop GPK from getting that chance to finish off the kill.
Yep. Just literally right on the cusp as if there. King does connect, nothing to say, gets a shield rune. Is it enough to protect him? It doesn't look like it. GPK still going to be, he's got to kind of do this though, right? So it's going to look to be very active. He's actually pivoting, so this actually feels maybe better. Mage Slayer, maybe not as great for overall killing, but doesn't get burst from the insane magic damage that's going to be coming out later on and now.
And he's going to go up top again.
Won't find the connection here. Pure is in the area too.
I should be able to finish off the tower here. Fortification coming to an end, and doesn't look like Tidebound want to try and defend.
I think they're pretty happy just defending it the once with the first move from the Sand King, getting him caught back up. Now he's got these stacks. It's gonna get him not too close to Blink, but yeah, much closer. So he's gonna be about like 700, 800 away. And then they have great ways to initiate and counter-initiate when he's got that finished up, because he's got the ET and he's got the save potential, of course, from the Ringmaster. Well, not yet, but eventually he will, because we do see Planet has 302 skill build this time around, but...
I guess the thing is that when you go for this Mage Slayer build, is it not still going to be a situation where you'll have the Mage Slayer, but you're still going to want to have the BKB pretty early this game?
I think he's still going to probably go it,
to the point where are you going Mage Slayer into the BKB, or you get something else in between?
Mage Slayer shard BKB, but either way, I mean, he goes down.
Just gets completely controlled by the two of them.
This is always the issue that I think me and you talk about it a lot, is what do the monkeys build that feels really good that doesn't make you like fall off? Because there's just too many of these games where it does hit big problems. Just feels like he needs like 3 items. But what do you want first?
Yeah. I think, it can just kind of hurt when you put this money into some of the magic resistance like the Mage Slayer when you're still going to have to buy BKB anyway afterwards.
I personally used to always like it's one of these 3. Echo, Diffusal, or Mage Slayer from the mid lane. So either you can be active or you can be that much tankier, but we'll see if these end up working out. Because he's going to slow down quite a lot there.
Yeah, he has. Yep.
That's 2 back-to-back. Well, not 2 back-to-back, but 2 deaths in this early game.
Just continued top spot for nothing to say. He's having a great day today.
He's got a haste rune, making his way top. Arrow, maybe getting solo killed here.
He is.
Whoa! I mean, Shiro showing why they want the first pick Gyro.
First pick Gyro, it got you good there.
Yep. That's huge. You got a full level. More than a full level from that kill. I mean, GPK still hasn't purchased anything, so I think maybe he's having the eternal debate.
I think he might be having hesitation. Well, no, he's sending it out. He's going to buy the cornucopia, so...
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think he is going to still go for the Mage Slayer route first. Which you say it makes it. Mage Slayer does feel good.
It's just Gyro and Sanking, it makes sense.
It's just where do you go after that?
Yeah.
Like, well, what is sort of the long-term plan?
I mean, that is going to be putting the... that does tell Pure you're the full-out hard carry, which, of course, he has to be, but...
Yeah, Pure's got the armlet. Of course, we're going on that road to the Radiance. So we'll need some space and time.
And this does mean that GPK has to be active, though, right?
And they're going to have the double blinks online pretty soon for Tidebound. Nothing says it already got his.
He's here, top save. Look at the shackle connection. That was awkward. He could actually probably just stunned him instead of just wrapping up the epi, but either way, Save will be able to just walk himself away. I mean, Bach is getting time to farm a Blink Dagger on. This all feels quite good for Team Tidebound. The lineup with massive Wombo combo team fight.
I mean,
they didn't really lose their lanes now.
They did not. And they're going to have, double blinks with all these team fight ultimates against a team, as we say, with 3 melee cores.
And lacking of initiation. Who's going to run in and start the fight? It's got to be GPK or Miero just charging through. That just gives setup, it feels like, for Team Tidebound.
It doesn't look easy for BetBoom.
No, it does not.
It feels like they really kind of needed GPK to not only crush his lane, but keep that momentum, and he wasn't able to do that.
They still have Katomi, of course, who's farming incredibly well as this 5-position tinker, so he will get that scaling. But yeah, we've just seen too many. I feel like I've just seen too many of these games where these big team fights they just reign supreme. They allow you to take the objectives that much easier. If you're not at a huge deficit. I mean, even last game when they were at a pretty big deficit, they were able to just fully turn it in a heartbeat. But yeah, there's the blinks. Obak, incredibly good. I mean, super good timing that he's able to get versus that matchup. And they have nothing to say with it, with rune control. So this Sanking is able to get the last few power runes. He had the Arcane, I believe he had the Haste earlier too. So let's see how BetBoom looks to prepare for this move. No blinks on them. Save, looks like he's gonna be the one.
They'll walk him down with the epicenter.
Yeah, they just cancel the TP as well from the Tinker. They don't want to give up 2 kills. Mid tower, can he set up for the defense with March? This tree line looks like he actually is going to be able to. Don't think they scouted him with the Spirit. I mean, they get a kill on save, but Katomi's able to stop the push. These stacks here, no stacks, but they'll just farm the triangle. But TPs are coming in. GPK considering to get involved, but just hard to close the gap. He's gonna jump in.
He's gonna go for it. Makes the jump on towards Planet, but the sleep comes in from wide. Planet able to turn with the wheel, Doom. Trying to hold the back. They'll drop the Doom down on towards him. They'll kill Planet off and chase down Y.
He's speedy. Is the pick pull fast enough? It is not.
And he's going to be able to walk down one off. So they make the commitment for the action. They do have to use a Doom. They don't end up getting a kill with the Doom, but they do get a kill nonetheless outside of it. But it is still just a support kill.
If they can finish the tower, it's pretty decent. That's the question, though, is if they can finish the tower. With the amp damage, they're persisting through for it. Should have it. I mean, this is kind of how GPK has to play, so I can get why he's going Mage Slayer, because he doesn't have the initiations early. Like, he has to kind of just put himself out there and just jump in to start the fight, so I totally understand why he's gone for this route. Until Doom has Blink, they just have really limited ways to make plays. And Miro, he's going to be switching it up a little bit, of course, going with Drums, Midas, Cell, whatever, yeah, etc.
Swinging around towards the bottom lane now. They've got eyes on Bark. And Bark has got a lot of backup.
He sure does. They have to kill him in the stun. Bark, he's actually making it. He gets the rage off.
Yeah, it's an instant reaction there with the rage. A risky move for Bark to try and make.
I'm surprised he went for the jump himself. Looks like they're still looking for the angle for this Tormentor, the stun.
They get the catch on to save. GPK's here.
Pulled off his tree.
I was thinking about the Wukongs, but now Bark's in with the jump. They'll get the setup. Boundless into the Wukong's command. The escape pack comes out, trying to help Bark get out of this. They're in with the Burrow Strike. Shiro to the side. They're taking GPK out of the Wukongs. Shiro in on top of it, but GPK's healing up with the Jingu Mastery. The wheel will control the three of them for now. Gives a bit of chance for the rest of Tidebound to try and run, but the Shackle Shot latches in onto Shiro. Shiro tries to turn and fight back. A big fear onto the three of them, but Shiro will fall. GPK gets the double. Might get more here as well.
Oop, GPK.
Bark is here to help out. Has got the Shockwave Skewer. Planet able to tame him for the moment.
Another power shot. Tries to get the scout, can't get the connection. An awkward start for Tidebound with the RP whiffing and then starting a fight without it, then not having Skewer instantly. Things start really weird. GPK actually gets his Jingu up as he gets skewered, so he gets the lifesteal onto the back line.
Going for that sort of blink RP play, it's a massive gamble, right? These players, Pure, he's always going to get the rage off.
And at the end of the day, too, Owen, it's right before the Tormentor, so it may be something that Bach just disregarded off his mind, that it's 7 seconds until Tormentor fight.
Yeah.
But them not having that for this team fight is actually massive.
Yeah, it's rough. I mean, and they had nothing to say coming in the tree. He was very close. They could have maybe just let him go in first.
Like the Skewer, look at, he blinks in, but it was on cooldown for a second. So then he gets stunned, and then the Jingu comes out, and by the time he's skewered, he pretty much is going to stand his ground and fight.
A tough one there for sure, and that gives BetBoom a real nice boost up now. They're up 5K lead.
Yeah, I mean, this is with the Armlet Lifestealer being able to fight and get some big kills. He's got the Relic now for the next fight. And GPK, the Mage Slayer pays off. He's able to stand his ground versus that magic damage. Hiccup there from Tidebound. GPK.
Mark.
Going for it again.
Got the catch. Followed with the Burrow Strike again with the wheel trying to control him, but do they have the damage to bring him down? The heal's coming in. RP backup. They're using to lock down GPK, but he still survives. Able to get the Boundless off and the Wukongs. The shield comes in from Kataomi. GPK, can they finally
He's still alive.
The heals continue to come in. They can't kill him for now. The splitter, it's going to get dodged, right?
Yep.
He's in with the mischief. Dodges it. They can't kill him.
And the Mage Slayer as well too.
Yeah,
that damage. Damage.
It's enough. It's enough to stop them from being able to take him down. I mean, this is, at this point,
huge.
Yeah, what do you do if you're Tidebound? You're throwing these ultimates at him. You're not killing him. And you got these kind of blink tiger timings, right? You went for these blinks on both of your mid and your off lane.
Oh.
Haven't really been able to make huge plays with it. Nothing to say. He might even be in trouble. He's going to go for the TP out.
He gets hit.
And they've got him.
The last attack there from Pure gets the kill.
Extra a lot of damage. We saw BetBoom kind of crumble in game one. Game two, it's Tidebound's turn to sort of take a bit of a turn.
And they're the ones, they're trying to make the aggressive moves themselves without a lot of their damage too. Like Shiro's not involved in those moves. So he's the one that provides that extra bit that they didn't need, perhaps, versus that Monkey King. I mean, BetBoom now, similar to last game, starting to get that big momentum.
Yeah, they're cruising now. It's a huge lead. You've got through this sort of period of the game with the Lifestealer. Now, could have been shut down. He wasn't. This Relic, this Radiance is going to be done here on top of the Armlet. 18 minutes in for Pure.
I mean, their blinks pretty much only netted them, what, one kill? Was it a kill on the Wind Ranger? Maybe one more.
I think, yeah, it's not been impressive. As I say, when you go for those 2 blinks on your 2 cores, and then the game starts to slip away, that it feels rough.
Yeah, they just haven't found those connections they wanted, and now that sit back and farm that BetBoom has been able to do, especially for Katomi, look at his net worth. Now he's ahead of the Sand King.
Yeah.
He's in some pretty crazy levels of farm, and the sustain matters, as we saw there. That extra bit of heal can just be massive. The barrier, the defense matrix, plus that mech, plus the extra heal on the Monkey King. That was everything there.
Because that's the thing now. You can move around the map. You can look towards GPK, but it's going to feel tough to sort of make the call to say, hey, let's try and kill this Monkey King again.
They need to have...
Because they haven't succeeded the last few times. If they go for this sort of play once more and they fail at killing GPK, they're going to be feeling just entirely helpless.
Yeah, they need to just have better layering of their spells in particular. If they're going to go for those plays, they need to just blow him up, not small sequences of spells coming in, his saves coming in slowly from the Tinker. They need to just kaboom him. But BetBoom, they're the ones who are actually prepared. Their ults are at the ready. Nothing to say. They're right on top of him.
So if there's going to be help to get him out, there's not. Dooms gets dropped down.
Bach actually gets the Force Staff, but the Doom comes out on the Force Staff and dispels it. Big hit for BetBoom.
Absolutely. I mean, there was that period of the game where it looked like nothing to say was going to start popping off with how he recovered after a very tough matchup against GPK in the mid lane. But now it's back to GPK being massively on top. Nothing to say's game falling apart once more.
Mage Slayer paying off dividends.
Yep, there he just can't fight into him.
Nope. With the extra heals that he's got with the Tinker.
And he's got so much. He's got 2,300 gold on top of it. GPK. I'm interested to see where he goes with this now. Is he going to build continued survival, or can he get something a bit more aggressive? And he's got options here as the Monkey King.
I feel like he can go something like an SNY even. It doesn't even feel that bad this game. Versus the RP and the heavy disables, it could be something he can consider if he doesn't want to go full D.
Because yeah, if he can get SNY on top of the Mage Slayer with good timing, yeah, good luck killing him.
Yeah. Bottom, Shiro's found again.
They're able to get on top of him. Is there any save coming in any time? There's not.
The big wombo combo team fight, it's not connecting.
It's not at all.
They're making the moves first.
Yeah, just running up and down the map, all of their cores, plus the Tinker, as you say, getting all the farm in the world.
Huge.
And Tidebound, of course, they've got the Gyro farming, obviously not this moment as he gets taken out, but outside of that, the two of the cores, nothing to say in Buck. They want to make plays, and they just haven't been able to do so.
It's literally 3 in a row that just have not connected. So
see, well, they're going to try again, keep trying with the blinks.
Feels like 6 minutes or so since they've, more than 6 minutes since they landed a connection. Katomi, he's level 14. He's already got the marches down too.
I'll get the setup. I mean, all 3 ults will get dropped down, and we'll get the kill.
My goodness, imagine if Pure was there actually never mind, Infest was on cooldown. I was going to say, if Pure was there even like 5 seconds earlier with Infest, maybe even saves him, but not going to be the case either way.
They get the kill, they get out, but it's 3 ultimates, and it is just the support.
And it's the positioning that they get a kill.
And you had to go pretty deep for that. There was a fair bit of time going and looking for that Katomi kill.
You don't get a kill into a tower or anything like that. And speaking of towers, actually, look at the HP on all these.
They've still got all tier 1s up.
They have not even really touched them. They're like full HP, so. The blinks, they tried to make these plays, but it's hurt them more than helped it feels. BetBoom has reacted perfectly around it. And yeah, they're both just going to do it, so. Radiance, SNY on the left stealer. SNY, I believe I saw him queue it up afterwards on Monkey King.
He's going for it.
He hasn't decided yet, but I saw he queued it up after we were talking about it.
I mean, if you want to be cheeky, you maybe just screw the SNY, just buy yourself a nullifier. You know what I mean? Get an early nullifier on the Monkey King.
Do you need it, though? That's the question. I think if you just tank up, you don't need to.
You don't want people getting forced away,
Sure. He's switching it, by the way.
A BKB.
Yeah.
I mean, BKB does feel kind of necessary because you're playing against like the Sand King. It's a lot of. You don't want to get stunned.
Oop! Ah, close. I think they were probably discussing like internal debate. It's like maybe I do because I have to jump in.
Because it is a good BKB game.
It's a fantastic one. Yeah, versus all wombo combo. I still would have hated the SNY, but either way. This will allow them, especially in this next fight, to perhaps have a very decisive one. Around the Roche, perhaps, is what he's thinking, that he wants this BKB.
Yeah, I mean, that's it. But the BKB, they've also got the Greaves done as well on Tinker.
Yeah.
So the next team fight, it's not easy. I mean, they're very much itemized now to stop Tidebound from being able to get any sort of success with what they were finding success with in game wrong, right? This time around, you go for this team fight, you have the heroes, but you're behind, and the question is if you're just going to have enough damage from this team fight to kill any of these crucial heroes on BetBoom.
And if even killing one of them is enough.
Yeah.
Because they are scaling on 4 heroes because of the Tinker, so. Full BKB on Miro too, so, yep. They have Rage, of course, on Lifestealer, double BKB on the other cores now.
Yep.
So they can protect each other nicely, at least in terms versus that Wombo combo. As long as they're not all chain stunned, one or two of them will get their immunity off. As Roche, easy pickings.
Yeah, because it... Whoop.
They will find Planet. Solo kill. Slow pace game. Just goes for the Doom on him.
And trying for the Axon back. About 1,000 gold off it. BKB. Close for Shiro.
And it's going to start having to come to high ground defenses pretty soon. It does feel like with the way that BetBoom's just taking over the map completely. And that is something that Tidebound does have. They do. You said insane team fight, insane high ground D.
But it's all on the team fight. It's all on these long cooldowns. Because this is the thing, right? For BetBoom, if they can just build to survive through those ultimates...
That's what I was going to say, too.
Then, Tidebound, what have you got? You got a gyro. That's it, right? It's all on whether or not Shiro's going to be able to clean up after everything else has been thrown down in the team fights. And at the moment, he's not in a bad spot. It's just he's in the same sort of level of a spot as you say, sort of these three cores on BetBoom. It's a lot of work cut out for him.
Yeah, I was wondering if we're going to see the pipe queued up from Kentomi as well. He's just going to go lens and scale a little bit more, but this is a great pipe game too. They can just get these auras and the damage is going to be, yeah, definitely lackluster, it feels like, from Tidebound. Even if they have the high ground defense, if they throw everything, there could just be situations where BetBoom can just tank through it, like you're saying.
Are they going to try?
Let's see. Can they get these big connections? As you said, Ag's done for Bach.
Yep.
Ag's done for nothing to say.
They can get that catch. They've got the control. They've got the AoE damage, but do they have enough single target?
That is going to be the question. And it is into this Aegis still, so 3 minutes.
I mean,
is very safe.
This thing is what the group up here. Are they actually going to go for a smoke move, or was this was just in preparation for if BetBoom were going to get aggressive?
I think in prep for BetBoom, yeah. I think overall making an outward move right now into this Aegis is very risky. You don't know where the vision completely is, and Tinker can always just rejoin and you can get outnumbered.
Well, they did time the fights very well around the expiry of the Aegis last game, so
that's very
maybe we'll see them look to work towards that in 3 minutes.
3 minutes, so 3 minutes and 3 seconds. So
until then, they're just sort of holding each other's hands, just in preparation.
They're waiting
of a sort of an aggressive move from BetBoom.
Yeah, they're like waiting for someone to just step out of position.
Yep.
Not the case by any means. BetBoom's actually just playing completely elsewhere. Tormentor. We'll go to Miro.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
It's just a lot of time where BetBoom's getting to split up, get these objectives.
They're farming so hard.
And Tidebound just look terrified.
Yeah, they're just playing. We want to try to get the team fight if it comes to us. And BetBoom's just playing. We're hitting creeps and we're just outscaling you massively. Midas on Doom continues to kick in with the Devours.
And I like this. Yeah, GPK just playing full survival. Mage Slayer into
after.
BKB into SMY.
I think the BKB was because he wanted to ensure that they can go for the Roche.
Yep.
And then he can go back for the SMY. Because if he goes for SMY and a fight comes out, then maybe things get weird. But
you know, this is it does feel kind of like one of the ways you do have to build this hero, because you can end up being very squishy on a Monkey King.
Yeah.
But, GPK with the itemization ensuring that's not going to be a problem here for him today.
It might just be the better build overall. Period.
Yeah. It's because the diffusal stuff, it's risky. Tempting, but it is risky. Yeah. You do end up being very glass cannon for a large portion of the game.
I feel like we've seen Tidebound here for the last 3 minutes, and the net worth has increased by...
It's adding up, yeah.
I feel like it's added up by 4K in the last 3 minutes. All this downtime with a Midas Doom, a Tinker farming everything. They have a ward on this far side.
And GPK's coming over.
They're expecting the catch.
The Horde toss onto the three as well, into the wheel. They've been able to clean up Katomi and GPK. And they do it a second time here as they look towards Pure. He's got the Rage.
He's got no Infest.
Can he get away from this?
No way, he just walks away.
Bark's going to try and chase forward. Feels pretty speedy though, Miro watching him from the side. He's actually going to jump in aggressively. Miro goes for the Doom play, what?
Miro?
I mean, he's going to BKB, try and TP out of this.
Oh my goodness, he's dead.
I mean...
It's happening again.
Maybe he just really felt that he needed to throw his body in to make sure that the Lifestealer could get out, but I think Pure was already He was already miles out of there.
I mean, we need to, the way that this fight happens, the replay is so necessary because Bach, it's kind of like a, oh my god, I got lucky, I got these other two guys. They blinked into when I'm jumping the Tinker.
I think I want to, we'll see if...
I'll see you in a second.
Well, BetBoom can find here, Pure. They're going to move back in, Bach forces away.
Comes right back.
So if they can get anything more white, we'll be able to get out the Gale just in time.
Pure is going BKB as well. Just really trying to prevent the wombo combo. Nothing to say. Shackle won't connect.
Okay. Because these are, when Bug went for that play, I mean, I don't know if it would have made much of a difference, but Pure, he jumped out and ended up getting RP'd, right? He could have maybe waited, because he jumps out, and now this is the 3-man.
I think he got caught in the stun from the horn toss as he came out. Like, literally same frame.
Yeah, exactly.
It looked like it was literally same frame. He popped out as the horn toss.
Which maybe doesn't matter, maybe because if he's still infested at that point where he gets to jump out on the high ground, gets to rage, play with his first Aegis
probably doesn't
a little bit more aggressively, probably not killing anyone, so it might not matter. But yeah, this, I guess, yeah, Miro was really worried about Pure dying, so he's like, I'll die for you.
I mean, honestly, and then Owen, if he doesn't have rage there and he actually used it before, like you're talking about, he might actually die on the revive.
True. So I guess it was better that he kind of popped out as he did.
Either way,
bit of a shake-up. They've still got the lead. 10k advantage here for BetBoom.
For sure, but now Shiro has a position where he can play in the game. Butterfly is done. He's been able to do the disassemble kind of plays. He's got that finished for this next upcoming fight. So they have hybrid damage. They have physical and magical.
Looking at these hits, Gyro can carry this game pretty hard, I think.
Sure. I mean, with all the wombo combo, absolutely. I mean, this one is not decided just yet by any means.
Gyro can do this. So BetBoom, they got to tidy it up a little bit. We saw some mistakes from them in the last game. Can't let this one slip away.
Also, I mean, just teamfight execution, though. It was Tidebound after that last game. Like, it was 3 teamfights in a row that pretty much decided the game for them, so.
That's true.
That's one. They probably, I mean, 2 more would be pretty necessary for sure still at this point. But looking, it is about Shiro now. Now they have to kind of stay behind this gyrocopter at all times. And let's see if BetBoom is prepared. It looks like they are.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
You said fresh BKB for Pure.
Dire are scanning. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
I think I have to start adding myself like a little Midas counter. How many times they sell the Midas when I launch these Dooms?
Yeah, it's coming and going.
I want to say he's sold it either 3 or 4 times so far, but impossible for me to keep track of it. Smoke on smoke.
All right, gonna go through the twin gate. They're not gonna be able to find anyone up here.
Tommy does show himself for a moment, and actually doesn't. He's inside the tree line still. Sorry, so doesn't show himself. They see the march afterwards, but it's too late.
Still yet to get a tier 1 tower here.
That's very true.
31, you don't see this often.
There you go.
Here we go. So 31 minutes in, Tidebound are able to get their first tier 1.
Right when you say it. I'm looking at neutral items really quickly. Okay, nothing to talk about.
Oh, they might find them here though.
Shiro.
Oh, this is he's able to get the BKB off. See what they can do in turn and fight here. Good skewing the RP here. Gets the setup. And still has to back up a little bit here on Shiro. Miro's able to back away with the BKB. Does fall incredibly low. GPK gets the Wukong's command laid down, but they're able to get out to the side here. Tidebound yet to lose anybody. Finally, Y will fall. Pure.
Back on Katomi.
It's going to chase down Planet. Jump forward again for GPK. The clean up a second support. Beautiful balance there from GPK. Lines up and catches Shiro as well. That's Shiro gone for 70 seconds, and he's been spending the gold. He's out without buyback.
I mean, they landed a pretty good connection on it, but Pure just too strong, too tanky. He just stands his ground, and it's literally just him versus everybody.
Yeah. And you
love
love
to see Katomi goes brought down.
Because once you got this BKB online on Lifestealer, it just feels fantastic, right? Rage,
BKB,
into the BKB, into a rage.
Yeah, and you saw
the timing's just fantastic.
Yeah, he had what, 24 seconds of immunity or whatever it is, 22 seconds of immunity. They couldn't actually push him off of Shiro. The Doom, very effective. He literally didn't get to do anything.
Yeah, panic sort of set in for Shiro, right? He steps up, I think, with the Ags kind of flat.
Ags hit
just ends up hitting someone. He's like, oh, okay, you're there, and then bam.
I mean, that was like ships crossing in the night, and then, yeah, the Ags revealed him. It was like, wait a minute. Pure?
Bach. The skewing onto GPK. Indeed, Pierce is able to turn towards Bach. Bach's in trouble. They're trying to force to safety, but Bach's gone for a minute.
Why? Shackle connects to the back target.
Creeps are coming in again, so the backdoor protection, it's gone.
Hey, Bach, I think this is 3 times I've seen now that the Tinker Shard just trips him up. This stupid warp flare. It roots him in place, and then he gets brought down from the lifestealer.
Oh, there we go. BetBoom back on track with that one. Clean up the mid set of barracks. Ready to swing round towards another lane. Keep this going. They've got the Bastion now done on GPK.
Great Doom from Miro in that last fight. And good buyback from Kitomi.
Well, nothing to say.
Shows
They
himself.
close in upon him. He's used the power strike. Has to put the BKB to stay safe.
Pure. Back away.
Of course, he's going to have some pretty good damage in the team fight now.
Shiro, doomed again.
Ooh.
Miro's on him.
He's going to get dragged back. The team have to try and do their best to bail him out. They'll be able to force him to the high ground. The wheel holds back Miro. But this time they can protect their gyro. Maybe consider looking for more. The sleep does connect onto GPK.
The splitter's going to connect.
It's there as well. They're trying to step up, but the BKB's up for GPK. Turns with the boundless on towards White.
Shiro's healing. They got to start backing away on BetBoom.
Yeah, they've got to play it chill until the Doom's back in action.
Miro going for a little bit of an opportunity play, but it is in the base. They're able to kind of protect Shiro and get that trade kill.
I have to keep Shiro alive at all costs. Without the gyro, they're not going to have the damage to clean up a team fight.
45 seconds, no Doom. This ward is on the high ground. They are aware of it, though. ET Spirit will scout it. So much pressure on Bach to land these big RPs, really, at this point, to allow Shiro to hit the targets. As he needs that separation. He can't have the lifestealer trading with him.
Oh,
Shackle.
safe.
Doesn't connect.
For the angle. Pure. He's going to step in, but we'll get the Shiro back on. The save's gone immediately.
50 seconds. Pure. Still has his BKB. I will buy a gem, so looking to control this vision. It is a problem for them at the moment. BetBoom has 3 very strong aggressive wards that they have to get rid of. How close to MKB on Shiro? He is about 1,000 or so away once he sells. But man, they are truly just hugging him. They cannot leave his side.
You can't let the gyro die.
It's all about him at this point. Doom is still on cooldown.
They go for the smoke play. Yeah, this is time to make the moves.
I didn't see if... I don't think the ward clipped it. I don't believe it did. And they do see GPK with the ward they placed 5 minutes ago. GPK. Is he going to get caught here?
That would be a pretty huge catch, but he's playing it safe, sticking to the trees.
They're all TPing over.
Yeah, they're going to know something's up now. So Shiro clears the wave like that. There's no way he does that without his team behind him.
Oh,
so
okay.
No.
He pivoted again. He's going down the Satanic route instead of going the MKB.
All right.
So he disassembled to be able to make that one as well. Sure, versus the Doom, not going to be effective, but being able to come back in the fight post-Doom, then he can Satanic and Lifesteal and stand his ground, perhaps. Of course, still standing toe-to-toe versus Lifestealer. Not really a thing he wants to do.
No.
But in overall grand scheme of things, of a 5v5, his damage is definitely there for the gyro.
Now Roshan's back up. BetBoom. They could probably get away with start going for this, but you know, at the moment they don't have full information with the vision, so they don't know exactly the whereabouts of Tidebound, so they'll look to sweep the area beforehand. Tidebound themselves, ready to go for another smoke and ready to head out. They've got that extra catch as well. That Hex fogged could slip them up.
Guard completely. Yeah, save. He does have a ward. They place it on high ground. But yeah, this Hex, this is an unexpected one to see on a Ringmaster at this point.
Absolutely, and on top of the Ether Lens as well, you've got that good amount of cast range to try and catch the key targets with it.
He could, you see how they're putting him in front. He could be even the one that initiates. He gets a Hex and then they get the follow-up RP skewer.
I mean, yeah, if they can get the Hex into RP onto Pure or GPK, it's going to be a tough fight for BetBoom, despite the fact that BetBoom do have this 12k lead.
Both teams looking to play around their vision. BetBoom camping their ward. How's the buyback status looking? Couple still available.
I think at least for if the supports have them, they will be ready to spend them.
More for Tidebound, actually. They're the ones with 3 available. Kitomi's is still on cooldown. No cores on BetBoom have theirs. Both teams very patient. Kitomi does have the liberty of pushing these side lanes at freedom, so they have 2 lanes pushing in.
Is it too risky just to get Shiro into the pit, start hitting the Roshan? He's got, he's got the evasion, he's got the lifesteal, right? So you can kind of safely start chipping away at him.
I just think they don't know exactly where GPK is. You know, if you start doing that and he's just standing on the trees, you give him a free initiation. They're going to start backing up to their base. Pure.
He's in.
They get the Hex.
They get the Hex. The RP's there as well. Is there any sort of save in time? There is. Pure's going to be more than fine. He's able to turn and in fact get the lockdown onto towards Shiro. Shiro's in trouble. The escape hatch comes out, trying to get out of there, but the Doom will slowly but surely bring him down. Shiro's gone.
Invest.
As Miro able to keep Pure safe inside him. Jump forward again for GPK. They're ready to dive tier 4s. They're in on towards the Sanking. Nothing stays. Got the other skewer back on the GPK towards the Phantom. The BKB's off. He'll be able to step back. Triple kill for Pure.
He's too tanky.
I mean, he really is. They get the Hex into RP, but they only got him down to about half HP.
Just way too tanky. That was with everything on top of him too. The ET Spirit. They had literally everything going.
I mean, maybe you're right as well. Maybe if it wasn't a Satanic and it was a damage item like the MKB and he still had the Chrysalis, maybe they could have threatened to kill more.
That's true. I mean, going for the Satanic, it actually did nothing for him. So,
well,
buyback comes out.
They're going to try and hold it 4 versus 5, but it could start getting pretty messy for Tidebound. Bark's gone. He's also got a buyback available. They've already used 2 here from nothing to say on why.
They're just hitting tier 4s. Pure.
Miro's in again. As the tier 4s are falling. Their Gyrocopter Shiro, the one they needed to carry them hard here through these tough times, dead still for 15 seconds.
And Pure can just keep hitting the tower. He's got the backup of his team. Stomp won't connect.
Ancient's exposed. BetBoom. They can chill out a little bit now. If they want to, Shiro's going to be back up. They'll respect that.
Yeah, look, they can back up and get rush.
Yep, they're in no rush now. They know how comfortable of a spot they're in. 26k advantage.
Yeah, and they're definitely probably recognizing Shiro's lack of damage there.
It just wasn't there. It was not there.
Had the control, but not the damage.
A very tough position now for Tidebound. Down 2 sets of racks down their tier 4s.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, S&Y overall, just it's always going to be an item that comes into factor massively whenever there's all this wombo combo, these stuns. So status resistance is always huge. On top of that, with the Tinker, of course.
And Roshan should be an easy one for them. Not going to see any sort of effort from Tidebound to get out here.
They are smoking to perhaps catch right on the outside.
It's not going to be anywhere near quick enough.
Maybe they try to catch on the high ground for like the clumps.
Yeah. Surely they can't. Yeah, they're not going to continue moving here. I mean, are they going to try and fight this? I mean, maybe they can catch someone by surprise. They're going to try. They take the risky play, see if they can catch a free pick. They do get it. They get Katomi. GPK and Pure, they're watching from the side.
I mean, they got to take risks at this point, right? It does feel like it. So we'll be able to catch the Tinker. He has buyback.
Okay.
Down for 100.
Another fire done now on Pure.
Yeah, I think they're just trying to, like, you know, catch him with their
just try something,
right? Like, oh, we're going to walk up the hill, it's 5, and like, oh, they just get lucky because they have 5 heroes there. I think that's something that they were trying to go for on Tidebound. Not going to be the case, though.
Yeah, we just got to see the big damage come out from Shiro, and it's going to take time. He's only got 1,000 gold on top of the Chrysalis that he's been able to finish up again.
I think he needs it. Yeah, I was going to say, I think this one he needs
There it is. And then at least if he can get there, then the Satanic doesn't feel too bad, right? Because that's the combo you need. You never want to have a Rapier without the Satanic.
Well, I mean, he's versus Doom, so you got to...
Oh, that's true.
But yes, you know, yes.
And yeah, Miro's been pretty on point with the Doom's last few team fights.
I mean, there's not really anybody else that he needs to even think about.
No, you just Doom this Gyro and then you feel good.
And you feel great.
Yeah.
He's literally all the damage at this point. You don't have to care about this magic damage that comes out from the Sanking by any means at this point. When he has a fresher, maybe, if he goes for it. No, he's going to Shiva, sorry. 24,000 lead. Pure.
Well, this will work.
Can pick up his full next item if he'd like to. Kind of slot starved, though.
Yeah, what are we switching up next?
Is it armlet time?
I guess the armlet's got to go right.
I guess so, right?
Armlet out, MKB in. Must be. Unless you want to play without phase boots. Can you play without phase?
I do not like that. Not a lifestealer. I will see.
I will see. There's a lot of money.
Refresher?
I think he could even just treat himself to a Moonshard instead, right? Keep the slot. So he's not having to sort of juggle his items.
Sure. Consume Aghanims. It's still a pretty good game for that, too.
Yeah.
Refresher finished up. Bach, Faith Beyond.
Okay, get them in the fountain. That's the plan.
What does he get? He also got himself a ceremonial robe, so extra status resistance reduction. Pure. Onto the high ground.
You do have to be a little careful with the Magnus. You know, you don't have a huge amount of mana to play with.
Look at the left side. Miro looking for his prime
He's looking
target.
for Shiro. He's in. The BKB will come out, but the Doom has been dropped down. So I guess the best thing for Tidebound is if they can just get out of here. RP's going to be used. The first one. Refresher's going to be popped. There's the second one. Do they have the follow-up? They're bringing Miro down over. The BKB comes off as well as defense matrix. Doesn't matter. Miro does go down. They've killed Pure the once.
Shiro's gone.
But Shiro's out. This time around, he does have the money for buyback, so we'll get back in on the action. Nothing to say. Bounces away. Pure moving in with the rage. Nothing to say. We'll get safely back towards the fountain. Pure turns over towards Y. The Boundless strike down on the Shiro. Shiro will be able to get the Satanic off. Y trying to scramble back to safety. Will manage to make it out of there, but Shiro's in trouble. Pure and GPK, they're in on top of him, but Barks in. Gets the horn toss into the Skewer back on towards Pure. Drags him back over towards the fountain, but Pure, he was able to get the Ghost Scepter, get it off. Gives him a bit of safety and enough time to put the rage. Turn back towards the Ancient as BetBoom look to try and finish this off. There's no Shiro for nearly 2 minutes.
Did he buy Ghost Scepter, sell, buy Blink, and blink out?
He absolutely did,
Fog.
Fog.
Sick. And Pure.
Ready to style on them here to close it up.
Stepping it up after that last game when he made some slip-ups. This one he's doing clutch moves. Pure.
He's going to get the rage off.
He gets the rage off pre-hex.
Does have to be a little careful. He's sitting pretty low.
Healing back up.
They're trying to do their best here, holding with the 4 of them.
Buck.
He's not going to get the angle for the Skewer back. Escape act. We'll keep Buck safe for now. GPK's in. Gets the jump on it. Nothing to say. Nothing to say. Gets the burrow strike off. Doesn't matter. And nothing to say. He's dead. Pure. He's tempted to dive the fountain. You've got to be a little careful with this Magnus around.
GG.
And indeed, they'll tap out. Game 2 here. Going to BetBoom. We're going to get a game 3 fogged.
Very appropriate too. You know, BetBoom in that last game, they had some difficulties that ended up happening in terms of the team fights.
Thank you very much, Chief. Yes, the deciding game 3 now here between BetBoom and Tidebound. And we're getting indeed that last pick, Huskar, coming in.
Don't worry, Fear. He went incendiary.
He
did not go. I don't even know what the hell it's called. It's some healing thing. I forgot.
Yeah.
I forgot the name of it. I'm usually pretty good at these.
Because it's just like, how can you ever not go this fast, right? Because the damage it does is ridiculous.
What is it? Oh, Cauterize. I knew. Damn it. It's Cauterize because it healed. Yes, damn it. So obviously not going to go that one. He's just going to go standard incendiary. I'm curious to see how this is going to go. They've gone for just a very different type of style. They throw the Tiny to the offlane. They have a Disruptor Tiny as their 3-4, which I don't think I've ever seen in a very, very long time.
Yeah, we might never have had that.
Yeah, so
duo in a pro game, yeah.
Yeah, in a very, very long time. So we'll see how much pressure they can actually apply onto a Morphling, because it does feel pretty nice for him. And then, yeah, let's see how mid ends up going, because it should be pretty good for GPK, but I'm going to factor in some rotations. I think Y is going to look to do some power shot snipes, very likely to mid, but we shall see how it all goes down. Cool to see the Brew come out, too. I know Bach is one of the... It's been rising a little more in popularity. That's why.
He might be in trouble.
Got a blood grenade.
That win run don't last too long at the beginning.
No, he's looking to be pretty dead.
Oh,
he stepped backwards.
He did. Pure step back.
That might save his life.
If he didn't take a step back, he would have been able to get that extra dagger off when it came off cooldown, and I think he would have had it.
Oh, might have saved his life.
Yep.
In a way, he's going to have to go back to base. So it is going to be Shiro in a matchup versus 2 heroes, and they are actually blocking the wave. So Shiro has to farm under tower with the way that they did do the block. And they're going to probably mess with his last hits.
Oh, let's see. So how rough is this mid matchup for the Bristle? Like, it should be very rough, right? Or is there some way that the Bristle can sort of play this?
I think I had never seen Bristle versus Huskar.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, so obviously it's going to get very hard once those spears, the levels start coming up. But I think Nothing to Say can do a pretty good job of dragging.
Okay.
As Bristle, I want to say that, but maybe not. Maybe he's just dead. Maybe like just be dead.
Yeah, he's dead. Yeah, rest in peace. Okay, first blood for GPK. I mean, yeah. But it's just, and as the panel said, they did have options.
They did. I thought they were
going to sort of switch things up. But with the way things have gone so far today in this series, I think Nothing to Say. He likes the pain. Right? He doesn't mind playing these mid matchups where he is not favored.
I mean, but why did he literally just walk up and killed himself? They could have just played it more patient.
You know, sometimes you make a misjudgment.
Yeah, I guess.
You know, you think you can't die when you can.
I mean, it's a lot of health burn. These spears are no jokes. Okay, I mean, it's going to be a devastating one for him. He's just going to have to play fully off stacks and dragging creep waves, but now you can maybe just go boots on GPK and match it. And he does actually have those boots.
Maybe he didn't check the facet. He was like Jenkins. He was like, oh, this guy's got that other rubbish facet. He's not going to have the damage to kill me.
And GPK is playing this pretty beautifully. Nothing to say.
Is he dead again?
I think he...
He's at least going to have to run. How many stacks is that? He won't be dead.
He lives, but he is now put at 100 HP.
He's very sad. It's going to feel pretty bad.
Okay, this could actually just make the game pretty much impossible for him to ever play if he can literally get nothing.
He wants to get the creep wave, but you can't. There's a Huskar ready to stop you.
And looking at the other lanes too, Pure is free farming because he has a Warlock behind him, so no way they can ever pressure him.
What do you do here, is this Bristle? You're just stuck in this...
Keep trying to drag the wave, but you're level 2.
Kind of area of limbo. You might as well just start stacking the enemy Ancients so you lose the game quicker. It's rough. What do? You
just have to play to catch your wave. But GPK is going to chase you now at this point. Do you buy a Windlace to match as well? Let me see, I'm checking his career. He did! He bought the... I was about to say, do you buy like Phase Boot and like Windlace on the Huskar just to chase the Bristle? It might be something he does, just to prevent Nothing to Say from recovering at all. So Windlace and Boots are there for GPK, so very likely drags a wave.
Because you... Like, when you look at their draft, you would have said, if you did indeed make that switch up, get something like the Wind Ranger mid, like, this lineup could work in other capacities. Like, it's not terrible to move the Bristle somewhere
Bristle
else.
5. I thought they were going to do Bristle. We saw this people trying the Snot Rocket Bristle 5. Even at TI, wasn't it? I think we saw people doing it last year. But I mean, maybe they thought that he could actually get to the point of dragging waves. I actually did. I kind of did too. But dying the way that he did was devastating. And Planet, he's still fatal bound.
Oh, might be okay though.
He's got the Tango running, so he should be all right. But they're not. I mean, Pure is full free farm, Huskar full free farm, and Tiny's actually having a very good time too. Because at the start, the Wind Ranger got put back to base.
Save.
He's got a glimpse.
Drags him back over to GPK, but indeed the TP. Oh my it's going to be a fair bit of damage, but we'll survive. Nothing to say.
You'll tell your team, guys, they used a blood grenade. They wasted one. Don't take those.
There's like, how's mid going? And you're like, it's going fine, boys. I got him on the on the ropes.
Yep. We forced the TP from the support.
Forced TP.
Level 5 versus
they get level 2. Yeah, don't look at the levels.
That might be the biggest disparity I've seen in terms of levels.
In a mid matchup at 4 minutes in?
At 4 minutes? Sometimes
I think so.
We've seen like the level 3 and they have 0 CS and they're roaming, but they're usually like a couple levels.
Look, Safe's just hanging around ready to be annoying.
I mean, they can just kill him if he steps up. They have the glyph available for the dive. They're hunting for him.
Oh.
Another TP's coming in. They're bringing it numbers. The Quills.
Oh. Hey, they got
the Quills!
Hey, there we go. GPK down.
And save 2. The support rotations, they work. One more hit. Oh, you say.
He's salving up.
He does not have a way out of this, though. No TP. Planet with that chakra. That Quill, it definitely added up. Not expected.
That's a big move. Gives a bit of chance here for Nothing to Say. He is currently not moving. Okay, he's waiting for the TP. He's got TP back off cooldown. Can get back to the lane.
What's his levels looking like?
He got about half a level from that.
Okay.
3.5 now.
He's still 3. All right, well, they're going to get stacks for him, though, that's for sure. Yeah. I'd imagine soon.
Because I guess that's the thing, right? He got to live for that kill, but it was split between him and the 2 supports.
Yeah, and I guess, okay, so, trying to, silver linings and everything, too, is now they can leave bottom, right? Shiro needs nothing. Probably didn't really need much anyway, since he was versus Disruptor and a Tiny. They can look to just make moves around. Planet?
This time should be dead.
Definitely. So let's see if the supports just kind of literally hugging the Bristle can change things up since they can just leave the Morph on their own. I don't know. And Nothing to Say is just still so poor.
Oh, and what do you sort of buy on the Bristle when you had this rough of a start? What's sort of your road to recovery?
I mean, I would say it would be like that Halberd kind of style build, maybe, but... I mean, it's that or Aghanims. I can't think of anything else. Everything else sounds horrible. So maybe it is just Ags. Okay, yeah, he's queued up Ags. I mean, I will have to say it's very early, but a 2K lead, and it's a it's of course it's the Huskar, but it's also this PA. It's the PA just able to get full free farm.
Okay, this is the thing as well, right? This was a first pick PA.
It was.
This is a first pick PA getting complete free farm,
and it's versus pretty limited disable and 0 silences in particular. Morph can change things around because you can turn into Tiny or whatever, give extra stun, but yeah, it's looking very nice for Pure. And he's gonna have to break later on, of course, versus the Bristle too. Sure, Morph will be a problem, but if you've got absolute free farm, probably not. And they're giving Miero actually the wisdom here too, so boosting up their Tiny even more. Save in the mid lane.
Oh, they want to try and kill Nothing to Say.
Got a glimpse.
Back into the kinetic field.
This time they got him easy.
And he's gone. Not going to be a fun game for nothing to say on the Bristle.
Definitely not. Unless literally just mistakes that come out from GPK and he gets caught by Quill somehow, it really just feels like it's a very sad one for this Bristleback. So Shiro, it's going to be a lot of work for you, my friend. And there are definitely spells that can trip up Shiro. You know, Disruptor, even though it was picked before the Morphling actually came out, they will at least have a silence to deal with him. Bach.
GPK trying to close the gap a little bit there.
Bach can't TP. There's a Disruptor here now.
Yes, they've been pretty pesky with his presence.
He really is. You know, this 4-position Disruptors, just because the strength of their independent cores, it's actually doing quite well. Just being able to rotate from lane to lane. How many stacks does Gatomi have? He has 4 Grimoire stacks, so he's got the ult at the ready if they see a fight opportunity. Nothing to say we'll get some recovery, but he's just still so frail.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Do they want to try to contest stacks is the question. That can be where it's quite a bit riskier unless you bring the Tiny as well. They're considering it, maybe with Golem.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
But it looks like nothing to say. Is going to be able to get away with farming this in a very safe position. Needs this stack desperately. We'll be able to get him that level 6. Armlet done. GPK can start to accelerate things as well. Probably pressure mid-tower. While for Tidebound, yeah, it's stack. Yeah, it really is. Just plan it. Get your double stacks going for the Coddle to try to get your Bristleback back into a better position.
And it is a very nice armlet game, right? Not a lot.
It's a great one.
Of sort of dots that are going to be thrown down onto you.
By Planet.
So if they can find anything in return, they're looking at Katomi.
Level 6 on Bach.
He's got the Golem, he'll drop it.
We'll let him back away. Just really doesn't want to give up any extra kills. Gonna be able to put some extra pressure onto this tower here. Pure is also pressuring top, and Mira is also bottom. So they're showing in all 3 lanes and not getting punished for it. Bach is considering if he can go for some type of play here. Save.
That's very risky.
They just popped the split. Pure goes for a wraparound play.
He's going to be able to jump back towards the rest of his team, but the shackles are in, and indeed Pure, he walked in.
He just gave up his up.
Oh, okay, and now
Shiro will take that all day.
Indeed, he's ready to be the PA himself. Turns into him, closes the gap on Katomi. A couple of times this series, Pure's done this. He's walked into some fights at some pretty rough angles, folks.
Last game he played almost flawlessly, but the first game he did have a couple of approaches that were weird. That one just walked into a Brewmaster. They did see him, to be fair. They do have the vision there, but that's a massive kill. Shiro gets... Does he get both? I believe he does, right? So he gets both last the kills. They almost got the deny, too.
Now he's able to get back to the lane. They're still hitting some excellent time. He's top net worth here on the Morphling.
That's a pretty huge, almost a complete recovery, I would say, in this game. Nothing to say, has stacks everywhere to catch back up, so he's actually got 2 components of his Aghanims now finished up.
It's not a terrible spot to be in, right, considering what happened in those opening minutes.
No, definitely not. Shiro will run directly into Pure. There are 5 heroes surrounding him. There's no Disruptor ult, but Shiro completely alone.
Look at the avalanche. He can just sort of buy his time here, but getting away, it's not going to happen.
Quickly brought down.
Looks to make quick moves maybe towards the top as well. If
Save's already up here.
Might be able to find the setup onto Bach.
Doesn't have ulti available. Does he have vision? No.
Good jukes here. Plays to where he reckons it's at least likely that any sort of vision will be down.
Pretty outrageous movement speed with the Drunken Master plus the pig pole. He's literally just hasted. He just zooms out of there. Recall. Planet. Looks like they want to take a fight down here. Just kidding. Recalling away.
Yeah, they don't want to hold this tower. Don't quite have the primal split back up.
I thought I checked nothing to say, and I saw the buff on him too. I was just blind. Wait, it did. Okay, so it wasn't just me. It shows it on the Coddle too. Okay. I play this hero a ton too, and I actually didn't even notice that. So. Planet. Continue to just get that recovery for mana. Bach at the ready to fight. He's going the Vessel route too. Looking for early timings to be able to fight around, I would say. But, oh, and yeah, they've completely recovered things.
Well,
Shiro's level 10. He's 2 levels ahead of the PA now at this point. And Bristol's game has been almost completely recovered. It's 3 components to the Aghanims. Catch. Doesn't get the shift off. Can they burst him in time? They can. Nice glimpse.
Able to pick up the 2 bounty runes on the way out there, though.
True.
Shiro.
Very true. If he doesn't get that glimpse timing there, he might actually end up surviving with the shift. Katomi top.
Looking to dive in. Katsomi already out.
Limited cancels. Tried to bring Y in time, but not able to.
And they can pressure the tier 1 top. But indeed, nothing to say. 100 gold. He'll have the Aghanims done.
It's literally only 1,000 gold behind. And Pure, after he was having that full free farm, that did slow him down a lot with the Morph. He's only 700 behind. He's got to have Battle Fury done, I believe, coming out. Why?
Bringing in the TPs. Why?
Very dead. They all want the kill. All 3 cores jump on top of it. Miro will be the one to snag it. Wisdom, can they consider contesting? I mean, Miro is making his move over. He has his Blink Dagger. I mean, they can consider, but I don't think they can actually fight there if they knew where Tidebound was. The Brewmaster, I believe, Spirit Vessel's done. He's right next to it.
They might be tempted.
They might be tempted, though.
Yeah, 10
really
seconds to get over there.
Do they have a ward? I'm checking the supports. Katomi has it, but he's too far. I don't think they make it. Yeah, they made the call. Nothing really besides that. Like, it's also just painful. Like, if they get it, they could just die, and there's not really much else for them to gain over there. So I can see why they don't want to even try for it. This feels like it should be the closest game that we have in all 3 of the 3 games that we've had, in particular from these 2.
Yeah, looks like both the PA and Morph are going to
both have good timings.
Have a game.
Yep. Good team fight on both sides, I would say. The supports on the side of BetBoom provide them a ton of team fight, while the Brewmaster provides a ton on the side of Tidebound. Great dispels that he can do too. They're gonna look to smoke. They've got the Spirit Vessel done. The Aghanims is done for the Bristle. They're feeling powerful. I mean, the power of Brew is pretty scary in a lot of games too, just because of the untapped potential sometimes of him, because he can change team fights. Like you have the number advantage if he's able to just chain cycle on a target, get good dispels off. And numbers are definitely going to be a thing that we will see Tidebound look to play with a lot because of the recall. Just constantly looking for that position advantage. Tormentor will be the call.
That's a good shot as well.
It's a really nice one.
Yeah, getting the Gale Force online nice and early for the win range, yeah.
They have a lot of good ones. Even the Coddle one, if you got it, it was nice. That extra recall plus extra heal is nothing to scoff at. Gets the shift off. Yep. Shiro.
Not going to be able to burst him. Another Gale here from Y. Kind of dragging Miro back.
Gets the shackle.
Never get the angle. Bringing in the Brew, but Buck's going to get dragged back by the Glimpse. Still, though, Shiro able to turn into the Tiny, use the Avalanche against him. And there we go, picking up the Tormentor, picking up that Shard. Paying dividends straight away.
Immediately. And Shiro, really good play there, using that Tiny against himself.
Oh, they're going to lose to Roche.
Should be able to set up with it with all the minus armor.
Should be able to take, I mean, they're going to try and contest this, surely, BetBoom. I don't think you let this go away for free.
They've got BKB on GPK. They've got Golem.
See what they can do. 3 in the pit. The Golem's going to get dropped down. The Static's on follow-up as well here. Catching the 3 of them with the silence. That's Shiro gone. Nothing to say to fall. They just walk up and drop an easy team fight. Buck will be able to get the Primal split off, but he's got to use it to run. They've got no fight surely left to have. I mean, they're trying to poke back and mess around with GPK is looking to finish off the Roshan.
Bach has to be careful. He is at, what, a 200 HP when it ends.
Yeah, he's got to get out, surely. And he's away.
Right, the supports leading the charge there.
Yep. Ooh. Careful with the toggles.
He was, I think he was 20 HP from getting executed there. Or kill shotted, sorry.
I guess, yeah, this sort of snipe potential is causing him to have to be quite careful. Bach.
He's back.
He's going to get clipped by the Avalanche.
Rush!
Easy deny.
Oh, man. GPK, is there another power shot?
Hey, where's the power shot?
Here it is.
It's already gone. Roshan dead, Aegis secured.
Huge from the supports.
Yeah, I guess they just didn't sort of bear in mind the fact that both the Golem and Static Storm were available.
Yep.
They got a little too excited after they killed the Tiny, I guess. And yeah, didn't respect the fact that the supports could pretty much single-handedly deal with them.
Especially if Shiro's caught inside of it too. It's literally we're all caught inside of it.
Yeah, very nice play around the Roche there from BetBoom. GPK. The Aegis takes the tier 1 tower top. And in the network, you can see PA Pure shooting ahead.
Back to a comfortable spot for them. Bach is just kind of poor. That's also the big thing. Since he's gone down this Vessel route, rather than having this, the Radiance that you see, he wants to try to go for more early fighting. But see how he's able to recover since the fights have not gone his way with the Vessel build in these last few moments. They are getting more space on the supports, as we do see. Y as well as Planet getting a decent amount more than the 2 supports, but I would say the 2 supports on the side of BetBoom don't really need too much to be very impactful either. Disruptor and Warlock. Sure, Disruptor eventually would love to have an Aghanims, but early on, their spells just do what they do. So in a pretty comfy spot. I'm looking to just continue playing around GPK with this Aegis, with this BKB. They've got a Static Storm. Quite scary, I would say, for the side of Tidebound to show on lanes, since they're playing versus this Disruptor at this point. They have way more difficult ways of setting up for kills on the side lanes. Theirs is all about just like big team fights, but it's also not that great versus BetBoom. Power shot.
Looking for Miro. Shackles there.
To the Kobold.
Miro. He's going to need the coverage here for the Static Storm, the Golem to drop down from his supports to try and help him out. Now GPK ready to get over to the backline.
Shiro?
Takes out Y. Miro will fall.
Shiro?
Shiro's committed in pretty deep for this. He's got to head back. Puts the man to tries to walk this off. We'll have to wait for him back up to get back to the safety of the tier 3. But Bark's still outside of the base.
Glimpse.
The drag back, but he's got the split. So stays safe.
But they force a split completely defensive. They take out the Bristle. They will lose their Tiny, but we got some nice pickoffs there and forced reactions from the side of Tidebound.
Yeah, they can still go for more here with the Aegis.
Yeah, especially now that there's no Brew split. They're going to know that they have the edge on every single one of those team fights without it available. Tier 2. It's getting pressured. How do you respond? They don't have any of their D-pushers actually in the area. Not the Coddle, not the Wind Ranger to get that power shot or Illuminate spam. They'll just use the Glyph. Miro couldn't quite find the grab. Miro's going carry build also from offlane, so he's not pivoting. So they're going to have 3 full-out carries.
That's going to be tough. Tidebound to deal with.
Yeah, 3 carries, especially since you're not having the good mid game with your Brewmaster at the moment. Pure will be just fine. They know there's a ward somewhere around here. Sentry gets placed, it'll get taken out. You can see how aggressive BetBoom's playing. They're feeling very confident right now.
It's pretty much just the shackle shot, right? It's the only thing that can kind of trip them up outside of the ultimates. Not a lot that they can throw out here, Tidebound, to try and threaten the cause. They get the toss back. Split still on cooldown, even if it wasn't, wouldn't have had a chance there.
Tier 2. Oof, nice try with the power shot. Doesn't connect. Another jump.
Don't get anything there. Tries to get the vision with the Thunder Strike, but ends up costing him his life save. So a sweet little attempt there, but does not work out.
Tries to be fancy. Gets punished. Shrine of Wisdom will get claimed from the side of BetBoom, but Planet, I don't know when the hell he did this, but he smoked out to be able to steal the opposing one.
Easy.
Very nice. And he's even going to steal some farm. Only a 2K lead for the side of BetBoom, but it feels larger. A lot of that gold, of course, as we said, the supports on the side of Tidebound. It just does feel like this Huskar and this PA, they have great ways into this next 10 minutes of the game. The Aghanims is about to be done for the Huskar, too, to lock down targets. So just easier ways for them to continue to set up this advantage compared to Tidebound, where, yeah, like you said, it's a shackle shot. If there's no bruise split, it's literally a shackle shot to set up the fight. Another tier 2. 2 tier 2s, 20 minutes for the lineup with the PA.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
Planet. Very close to having the items.
He is still farming very well. It's just going to be in terms of... Well, they have damage for PA and Huskar too. They might have some of that extra control, but they absolutely are lacking this extra off... You know, their offlaner. Bach is still only level 11. It's not even 12 yet on this brew. Planet's level 13, so...
Miro?
It's going to be quite weak as...
They're going to find nothing to say.
We'll find a kill.
They will. They'll get safe.
They will get brought down. And the Aghanim is just so good versus Bristleback. It's good versus everybody, but of course versus Bristleback in particular, since it taunts and you just can bring him down in seconds. And Shiro will need a BKB.
A tough one to carry.
Very tough one. It's him alone.
I mean, it's kind of similar to like last game right there. He had his work cut out on the gyro.
Yeah.
Wasn't able to do it. This time, it's even harder.
Yeah, even though Bach had, you know, he's recovered, right? Absolutely. The factor is he still is going to be playing into a PA shard at some points too. He's playing into this Huskar percent damage, who also turns him. Yeah, it really does feel like Shiro has difficulty set to 9 at the moment, maybe 10 even. BKB's finished. Oop, here. Checking some neutral items since we have some downtime, seeing what everybody took. Just the standard all Brigands. Brigands on the triple carries, of course. Just checking to see if there was any of the greedy as well too. It looks like no greedy coming out on the supports at least, but either way, able to control. Net worth is not leading, it's not growing, staying stagnant. But that does feel still pretty good for Pure.
Nice to smoke.
Well, coming out, Shiro with his BKB. BKB also on the bristle. Is Bach 12 yet? Okay, he is. So he does have level 2 split, at least on line 2.
Let's see if they can jump first.
No.
Miro.
Instant jump.
He's going to get the avalanche on the 2, then gets the toss back onto YY. He's able to get away with the wind run. Static Storm and Golem drop down here. Miro though falls. Pure tries to jump over towards the backlines, but they're kiting him pretty good.
He's deep.
Pure's got to back off now with the remainder of the BKB. Y survives throughout this all.
GPK?
As BetBoom, they don't get the kills. Now GPK will get the BKB off. He's able to jump over towards Shiro, gets him with the taunt.
GPK!
GPK's dead. Shiro doesn't even get close to dying as he cleans up the double kill. Pure's able to jump away, but the Rock's going to follow up on him. Gale as well, bringing him back.
There he might be able to keep chasing.
They want to try.
That's true.
See if they can get this. Shackle. Oh, onto the one tree as well.
He's got another jump.
But he's ready for him. Nothing to say is there. They close in onto Pure. Wow. They're going to get the PA as well.
And another.
They might even get the Warlock on top of it. Kataomi also to get taken out.
Wow.
What a fight there from Tidebound. They were more than ready.
The shackles connected perfect. They had the double BKBs at the ready. BetBoom. I mean, Miro, he jumps in thinking he's got a pick off, but it's all 5 again.
Yeah, they just turn and kill him.
Oh, wow. I mean, we've seen this from Tidebound multiple times in this series. Even the game that they lost, it's the team fights. Remarkable stuff. Punishing the greed, really. The Blink Echo Saber build from the Tiny. Miro, though, now comes in. We'll be able to find nothing to say up aggressive.
Yeah, they'll stop the push. Still quite the win there for Tidebound.
I mean, huge for Shiro. Now he has the Eagle song finished up now, too, afterwards. And their double BKB timing paying off massively. Miro maybe going to be more hesitant how he goes for that initiation next time.
Yeah, this Butterfly's going to feel pretty great here, right?
It is.
I mean, nobody wants to buy an MKB.
No.
Or, you know, have that sort of true strike solution.
They do have a lot of damage, though, right? Like,
sure.
He'll just have high burst in particular, and I am seeing the Disruptor save. He's halfway to his eggs, too. So this can also be one of those super game-changing ones that can just...
I mean, they're hunting.
Make you win every fight. Shiro.
He's not respecting the fact that there's wards down.
He's got BKB. He's gone. 90 seconds.
Same time, Pure's being hunted.
He's got his BKB. He's trying not to use it. He will now.
He's going to turn and try and kill off Y, and he will. He will get the kill.
1v4, jumps in. We'll be able to jump out.
Now do they want to go for the Roche?
And both cores don't have BKB, right? The Morphling doesn't have BKB and Pure doesn't have BKB, so BetBoom, they feel like they can start to force this.
Can you get away with this as BetBoom? I don't know if you can. I think Tidebound aren't afraid to fight.
They have ults ready. They have Bach with his Primal. Miro. Looking for backline. They have that ward there. They want to try to catch Planet, but not able to close the gap.
They're not getting anything this time.
And Planet is being a true nuisance. He needs to be dealt with in these fights.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Difficult for them to just approach in a straight-up fashion. Ward will be expiring in 30 seconds around that Roche pit. Less than 1K lead now. Things are looking exciting. All going to be up to that execution in the fights. Pure almost has Satanic. And that will still help a lot, because you said limited disables, so you can still hop in and out of these team fights, especially when he's got this extra survivability. And Miro, I think he's going to disassemble for BKB after those last two fights. And then they probably look to fight around that. Maybe look to go for that Roche when he's got BKB on the Tiny. 25 gold until he hasn't finished. He completely whiffed the wave. Now he'll get it, and there's that BKB coming. So Satanic on the PA, BKB on the Tiny. He had a couple timings coming in here. Tidebound still playing on their previous timings. Shiro's got the wave pretty far up top. They seem to have a good idea of where he is, though, because of that Manta.
No, it's a difficult one, though.
It is. He's got the BKB.
Dire's top tower.
Yeah, they know something's going on now, Tidebound.
Yep. They're joining next to each other. Nothing to say. Charging in. He's got an Arcane Rune.
Radiant are scanning.
GPK.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Both teams waiting for the smokes to break. BetBooms will break first.
Pure.
Scouts it out.
He's going to have eyes on nothing to say. Why? Trying to get the angle, but Mira's in with the jump first. Gets the toss back on towards White. They look towards the Wind Rangers, but the Will-O-Wisp is dropped down. White still alive. He gets healed up. White, he's out of there. They couldn't kill him. The Wind Ranger. They've lost Miro. The Will-O-Wisp dragging in the PA. Pure finally gets the BKB off, but he can't still finish off White. White survives. Pure jumps in, looking towards Planet, but the Ghost Scepter's up. Planet's perfectly fine, and now Pure, his BKB's come to an end. He's trying to finish off Planet. Can they kill these supports? White and Planet survive through it all. Pure's dead, and now Buck's ready to chase down Katomis. Gets the drag back here. Katomi's gone.
They
couldn't kill the supports, Fogged.
They bailed, and that was the two of them bailing each other out. The Glimmer literally got delivered as they jumped Innocence. He gets it off on himself, then Y gets the heal.
And it continues.
What an insane fight. Again, Tidebound. This series has literally just been them just showing how good they are at team fights.
Game 2, they couldn't get it together, but yeah, Game 1, Game 3, the team fights, you got to kind of be left scratching your heads if you're BetBoom, right? You're trying to take them on in these team fights, but Tidebound, they just kept playing you.
Ready, watch it. I believe, it got delivered to him right there. You see, he's got the Glimmer, he gets it off, he gets the extra heal. They can't even finish him off. And then the whole fight's so split. Everyone has to just run.
Yeah, and just Y and Planet. They're just not dying.
No.
You know, Pure's trying his best to kill one of these supports. He doesn't get them. He doesn't get either of them.
I mean, GPK is having difficulties of when he wants to use BKB, and even if he does, it's only 6 seconds. He gets thrown in the air. The number advantage is there. And Tidebound playing this draft now to perfection, it feels. Shiro truly enabled at its finest. He's got the Aegis now too. And even though it's been BetBoom, just like Game 1 actually, or Game 2, sorry, or Game 1, sorry, where they get 2 item timings, they look for fight, and they lose off of those item timings right afterwards. Quite crazy. Because that was Miro with the BKB, that was Satanic on Pure, and it was not any real big new items on Tidebound. It was just positioning and team fight advantage.
Yeah.
Crazy stuff.
And now at the point where you know, you're at the same farm as this Bristleback against the Huskar.
Yeah. and your PA can't stick on the Morphling and can't stick on the backline targets either. You can't kill the supports because they've got defensive items, and the Morphling is not something you can just go for with a Butterfly.
What do you do? I mean, surely someone's going to get like a nullify soon, right?
I think you have to on Pure, but then you also need MKB. So they're in a bit of a difficult situation if no one can actually buy the item they need.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
10k lead now, Tidebound. Having taken these fights even at a deficit, now with the lead, feeling confident to go toward high ground. Doing some save. He still doesn't have his Aghanims. Still a full component away.
And what do they do?
It's an Aegis push. Lost the last 2 team fights quite handedly. So they're probably feeling pretty scared to just take a head-on fight.
Zero.
He's gonna try again.
And he gets the opening with the toss back into the taunt. They're trying to burst through the Brewmaster. Can they do so? They can. They kill him off, but at the same time, nothing to say. He's cleaned up the 2 supports himself.
And Nero's dead.
And as Shiro's ready to dive in, comes in with the break, destroys GPK, sweet moves there as Shiro turns into the PA, uses the Fan of Knives against the Huskar. Pure, BKB is trying to get in and at least clean up the Golem. But they come in with the buybacks themselves, Tidebound. They want to keep on the aggressive here, whilst they still have this sort of nearly 3 minutes of Aegis.
Shiro just playing so well, so confident how he jumps forward onto the Tiny, then breaks the Huskar and finishes him off. Some beautiful Morphling plays.
And with these buybacks as well, they're making the call that the buybacks aren't, maybe not there, and indeed they'd be correct with that call. There's no buyback available on either Mira or GPK.
And they have the sustain to just stick here.
They
can just keep hitting it.
Yeah, they're on the tier 4s.
Oh, and they've done it.
The split's up. BetBoom, 3 against 5. Is there anything left that they have in the tank? Pure's trying to step up, but the Will-O-Wisp, the Gale, for blowing him back. It's over. GG's called. Tidebound take the game. The series hits theirs 2-1 against BetBoom.